with Hispanic Americans when it comes to who they vote for in the next election?
All right.
Well, Tommy, Hispanics love
start a
the
little
memory
bit
of
early
Ronald
here.
Reagan, the President of the United States. As a matter of fact, he used to
There
say
we go.
that Hispanics are Republican. They just don't know. And believe me, they are finding out. They already know that they are Republicans. We have much more in common with the values and the principles of the Republican Party than we have to do with the other party.
This is why we're doing it early.
People
There we
tend
go.
to think that Hispanics are Democrats per se, and that's not true. And we've been showing that in the numbers in the last couple of cycles, the electoral cycles. What is important for Hispanics is being taken as members of this community. We are members of this community. We're American citizens. We're just bilinguals in most of the cases.
He's just bilingual,
some of us
bro.
speak another language, but that's the only difference we have with the rest. The things that are important for the rest of the population in this country, like the economy, the creation of new jobs, the education of our kids, the safety in our neighborhoods, are important also for Hispanics. Of course, we have other things.
Who
like
is this guy?
And other things. Immigrations, we have to
just
say
making
that
sure
very
everything
clearly.
works.
One thing is immigration, and another thing is the border crisis that we have.
Fine.
And we have to take care of that before we start taking care of the immigration. That's what we Hispanics think about. And if you ask Hispanics all over the country what they think about the open borders policy that this administration is having,
they're gonna put on
they
the
don't like
headphones.
that.
So.
They hate that because that really compromises the safety of their families in their neighborhoods.
I think that rings so true that safe streets, better schools, a better economy is what all Americans want. What are some ways that the RNC is reaching out to really spread that message, specifically to the Hispanic American community? What is the RNC
you don't tell me what to do with my life.
In the last cycle, Tommy, we had 38 community centers for minorities.
There we
Half
go.
Of them, 18 of them were Hispanic community centers. We already started opening those community centers for this electoral cycle. And that was wonderful because that gave us the opportunity to have like a campaign office, but much more than that. That gave us the opportunity to have a place where the members of our Hispanic communities all over the country.
Well, you guys tell
states,
me.
From California to Florida, from New York to...
If the audio's bad or the video's bad or any of that business. Erica, please try again later.
What the party has to tell them, but also to tell the party what they think that should be done.
How are we doing, YouTube? Are we working?
Different suggestions that they have about how the country should be handled.
It looks like we're working.
Should be solved.
I want to believe that we're working. I'm wearing my headset tonight, so that way, like, you guys don't have to hear the terrible audio.
Community centers. We had also the opportunity for Hispanics to learn about the knowledge that they have to have in order to apply for their American citizenship.
Okay.
It was a wonderful project.
Whatever this guy's saying, it's all fire. All fire, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about.
We're already starting for this coming cycle for the 2024 election.
Well, that's fantastic. And I think based off the numbers, you mentioned those.
That's fantastic.
The Hispanic Americans and who they're voting for. Can you talk about some of the momentum you might be seeing in terms of the growth of the number of Hispanic Republicans and who Hispanic Americans are voting for either this last election or what you're seeing this cycle as we're already heading into?
Well, I think we're on Facebook for the first time ever too.
One number: we had over 100 Hispanic candidates for the House of Representatives.
Over 9,000.
2022 cycle, and that was.
Republican vice president debate. Exactly, Omega.
We had the opportunity to elect,
There's only one thing stopping the Trump train, and that is Jack Smith.
Texas,
Jack Smith comes through for us. That's the only way the Trump train's getting stopped, because these fuckers don't care. They don't care how many indictments. Like, he could literally be prosecuted on all 91 charges, and they're still going to be like, whatever, voting for him anyways. In fact, here, let's
we're going to have the right candidates and the right
candidates. You ain't have any right candidates.
Because as much as our candidates, the number of candidates is growing, the number of Republican voters is growing.
How many minutes we got? We got 19 minutes.
I have no doubt that in the next cycle...
We could probably watch like some kind of Trump-supported video, right? We got enough time for that? Alright, 19 minutes. What is this? Oh, this. Alright, watch this. Okay, hold on. This guy, you get muted. Sir, you're muted. Let's see. We got 19 minutes to kill. We could like piggyback on another stream and see what's going on. General immediately responds to Trump post accusing General of treason. Oh, let's watch that. That's only a minute 48.
Trump said that your dealings with China were so egregious that in times gone by, the punishment would have been death.
Wow. Wow.
I said that. That's correct.
He is suggesting that you be punished by death. The former commander-in-chief
seems like an issue.
Top military advisor.
Look, I'm a soldier. I've been faithful and loyal to the Constitution of the United States for 44 and a half years.
Damn.
And my family and I have sacrificed greatly for this country. My mother and father before them. And, you know, as much as these comments are directed at me, it's also directed at the institution of the military. And there's 2.1 million of us in uniform. And the American people can take it to the bank that all of us, every single one of us, from private to general, we're loyal to that Constitution and we'll never turn our back on it no matter what the threats,
Good shit.
no matter what the humiliation, no matter what. If
Good
we're
to hear,
willing
Millie.
to die for that document, if we're willing to deploy to combat, if we're willing to lose an arm, a leg, an eye, to protect and support and defend that document and protect the American people, then we're willing to live for it too. So I'm not going to comment directly on those things, but I can tell you that this military, this soldier, me, will never turn our back on that Constitution.
But for the record, was
Well,
there
that's good
anything
to hear.
inappropriate or treasonous
to hear
about the
that.
calls you made to China?
Absolutely not. Zero. None.
It almost seems odd to ask this question because the former commander-in-chief seems to be calling for your execution.
Jesus
Are
Christ.
you worried about your safety?
I've got adequate safety precautions. I wish those comments had not been made, but they were, and we'll take appropriate measures to ensure my safety and the safety of my family.
What the fuck? That is insane.
Booth
How do
is a
people
police officer
support
for
Donald
the Air
Trump?
Force in Kansas. He's got 6 kids under the age of 15, and like many Americans, he lives paycheck to paycheck. So as the nation hurdles
that
toward
Laura
a federal
Loomis?
government shutdown that would halt pay to its 4 million employees, Booth, who's also a veteran, is trying to figure out what he's going to do at the end of this month.
Republican Congressman Paul Gosar is calling for the execution of General Mark Milley, who served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff under the Trump administration. Now, this follows a lengthy profile that was written about Milley, which was written by Jeffrey
insane,
Goldberg and
Chicago.
published in The
It's
Atlantic.
just, like,
We talked about that
so
story
psycho.
last
I don't
week,
even know what to say.
and it has definitely ruffled both Gosar's feathers, but initially Donald Trump's feathers. We'll get to Trump in just a moment, but first, Gosar. So Gosar's congressional office released a newsletter on Sunday, which claimed that the FBI, DHS,
Let
and
me know
other
if the
federal
audio
agencies
sucks, if it's
allowed the
echoing,
United
if the
States
video sucks,
Capitol
let me
to
know,
be
because I'm using
attacked
Restream.
by Donald Trump's
First time on a
rioting
Wednesday,
supporters
I've
on
used it.
January
That's why I
6th. So
popped on
it wasn't
early.
Donald Trump's fault. It wasn't all the lies about the election allegedly being stolen from Trump. It was these government agencies' fault. He says that after the riot was in full swing, the chief's request for National Guard was finally approved. But even after approval was given, General Milley, the homosexual promoting BLM activist chairman of the military Joint Chiefs, delayed. There's no evidence of that. As I explained to you on the show before, the decision to deploy members of the National Guard.
These people are psychotic. Oh my God, like, I was just watching that Luke Beasley Laura Loomer video. Oh my God, like, these people have lost their goddamn mind. Like, I can't compute, dude. Like, I am at a complete and utter loss for how anybody can become this insane. There's no going back for these people. Like you're saying these things to your friends and family. This isn't something that you just like sweep under the rug. If Donald Trump doesn't win, what are these people going to do? You can't, like, I can't think of an instance. Can I? Okay, I can't think of an instance of a Democrat asking for things like this. I'm trying to think if I can remember like a previous like Republican. I mean, there was a lot of rhetoric when it came to Obama. I mean, I guess there's always some threats, death threats and such to presidents. and to senators, congressmen. I'm sure that they're receiving that kind of thing but this just seems overwhelmingly just so much more than any other time in history. This is like actual mass psychosis. These people have lost it. Yeah, I remember the good old days when we just had like a winner and a loser, and then the loser was like, okay, hey, I lost. So, moving on now. I still remember John McCain getting booed by his own crowd at the final rally with Obama, where he was like, yeah, so Obama's the president now, and they're like, boo! And he was like, no, it's cool, like, he'll be a good president, and they're like, boo! Little did we know, that was like the beginning of people just like absolutely losing their shit and not coming back. Like, this is so crazy. Yeah, when Hillary lost, it was like, oh, okay, well, I didn't see that coming. I mean, I told people that Trump had a chance, but I didn't believe it, right? Like, I was like, you guys shouldn't say that he doesn't have a chance, because he does definitely have a chance. And then when he won, I was like, oh, well, turns out people wanted Donald Trump to be the president. And it has not been the same since then. It has absolutely just derailed off into the forest, over a cliff, down into the ocean. We have lost our God. Well, not we. I'm using the royal we. I want you guys to know I'm never talking about you guys. Unless it's like one or two people that are like hate watching me. I'm talking about you. Anybody hate watching, talking about you motherfuckers. God damn, this is so insane.
Has to be made, or at that time had to be made, by the Capitol Board, which consisted of 4 specific people, and one of them wasn't even at the Capitol on that day, which turned out to be...
Yeah, in Chicago, my dude. Like, he lost the popular vote, didn't he? I mean, there was a little bit of the political back and forth that almost always happens in it, just like the Al Gore, George Bush. There was like, well, we want to recount in this state, we want to recount in that state. But, like, there was no, like, 62 lawsuits being thrown out. Multiple Supreme Court decisions thrown out. Like, or not decision, I'm sorry, suits being thrown out by Republican Supreme Court justices. Like, the level of insanity that we're at right now is just, first of all, it's unsustainable. I mean, can you stay crazy for this long? Man, like, we need, like, mass medication. Peachtree? What's up, Peachtree? Peachtree, did you see me on Gray Pill last night? You were on that, right? You saw a little bit of that. That's right. I'm out there. I'm talking to people. I'm telling people that Sneeko might be a groomer. So this stuff is, like, completely out of my, like, realm of experience. But I love going on and talking to Gray Pill. I love going on and talking to Angela. And I'll do whatever they want me to do. They want me to talk about Sneeko, I'll talk about Sneeko. I don't care. Like, you know, I'm good. Anybody that doesn't know, I do go on other shows nowadays. So if you see me pop on every once in a while, I'm on the Gray Pill podcast, and I'm on Angela Night. Not very often because we stream on the same night, but I was just on having a conversation on like Saturday or Sunday. But yeah. Anybody wants to come and watch me hang out on their shows, I appreciate that as well. Yeah, Hillary accepted the loss and wished Trump well. Remember how it used to be like a handshake? Like, you won. It was like a fight. Like, you might have got your ass whooped, but you were like, it's cool. You know, good on you, bro. Like, you just gave him a note that said, welcome to the presidency. Don't burn the house down. And didn't Donald Trump not do that for Joe Biden? I mean, other than the fact that he, like, got evicted in the last, like, 30 seconds because he just kept, like, trying to stay. Like, this is, like, some broke-ass people stuff. This is the kind of stuff that, like, I did when I was, like, young. Like, you can't evict me. Here's your 60-day. Here's your 30-day. Here's your 1 week. Here's your 24-hour notice to get out, sir. Yeah, Obama, of all people, who took, like, the most massive amount of shit, was like, welcome to the White House, don't burn it down. Please don't burn it down. Oh, man.
Be a huge problem. So this idea of kind of blaming Pelosi for it or blaming whatever other government agency is ridiculous. But from there, the newsletter blasted Milley for speaking with Nancy Pelosi after the riot, agreeing with her that Trump was crazy, and assuring the former speaker that Trump wouldn't be able to seize control of America's nuclear arsenal during his last days in office.
It's a good
so
call.
Here's what
Let's not let
Gosar
him
had to
have
say
that.
specifically in his newsletter.
I appreciate
Of course,
that.
we now know that the deviant Milley was coordinating with Nancy Pelosi to hurt President Trump and treasonously working behind Trump's back. In a better society.
You like the language that they use too? It's like all of these people have like learned so much from Trump. They're like, you got to use insults, you got to use like specific language, you got to use keywords, like you got to make insinuate threats. It's just, he had one boss, President Trump, and instead he was secretly meeting with Pelosi and coordinating with her to hurt Trump. That is when he wasn't also secretly coordinating and sharing intelligence with the Chinese military. How this traitor remains in office is a question we need answered. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Why can't we just fire these people? Why is that not a thing? Some shit needs to be changed. This is absolutely... Yeah, Milley owned Trump. And the funniest thing about this was not too long ago, like, Trump was, like, talking about Milley and being like... He was like, he wasn't that bad. He was a pretty good general. And then Milley was, like, out. And he's like, yeah, Milley sucked. We don't have to agree on everything, still have great content journalism. Yeah, I think, TYT, they're entertaining. I don't believe everything everything I say, no matter what channel I'm watching, man. That's like the craziness. That's why I think all these people are like psycho, is because I don't believe everything I see on anything. And yet these people like literally believe every single word this dude says. That's insanity. Like, this should not be the way that our world works, at least not in America. Voter impeachments, yeah. I'm still down with, I don't know, I hate to say it, but I'm still down with taking away the rights of people that voted for Mitch McConnell. If you vote for Mitch McConnell after he froze up twice, you don't get to vote no more, man. Do some states have recall elections? I think so. I think that some of that shit needs to happen. I'm just scared that a lot of these people just believe so much of this shit that they don't even care, man. Oh, by the way, guys, I have put links to the Kick, to the Twitch, to the Rumble. If you guys can follow me on Rumble, I don't even want to be on Rumble, but I need like a backup stream just in case. I've been banned once already for making fun of QAnon. The QAnon people, for calling people snowflakes all the time, are a bunch of goddamn snowflakes. They don't like being made fun of, and they already got me banned once. So I put the links in chat. I pinned that stuff. If I get like 5 followers on Rumble, I think I can stream on Rumble too. So if you guys, just in case, also I'm gonna be streaming this from Rumble. So there may be a chance that YouTube cuts me off and tells me to go kick rock somewhere else for the night. So I just want you guys to know that if the stream does go down, you can click either one of those links, Twitch, Twitch or Kick, and we'll be streaming on there for sure. But for now, I'm streaming on what is my favorite platform in the world. I hope you guys are listening, YouTube. You guys are my favorite. I appreciate you. I love you. You've changed my life. Please don't kill my stream tonight. Because last time, what my dumb ass tried to do is I tried to live stream it straight from YouTube Live TV, and they're like, why would you even try that, bro? I don't know. I'm from the trailer park. I don't know the rules.
Like the strange sodomy promoting General Milley would be hung. He had one boss, President Trump, and instead...
Did you say my Discord isn't working? Okay, Peach, I'll fix that. I haven't done very much with the Discord since my boy Sharon set that up for me, and since he set it up for me, I haven't really done anything since then. So I will work on cleaning up the Discord and get it back to running, so that way people can join if they'd like to.
He was secretly meeting with Pelosi and coordinating with her to hurt Trump. That is, when he wasn't also secretly coordinating and sharing intelligence with the Chinese military. How this traitor remains in office is a question we need answered. Now, everything in there was a flat-out lie. And what he's referencing is that profile on Milley that was written in The Atlantic. So I'm going to give you the excerpts, and then you decide for yourself if the excerpts communicate what Gosar is alleging they communicate. Let's start with Pelosi. Here's what the piece actually said. Shortly after the assault on the Capitol on January 6th, Pelosi, who was then the Speaker of the House, called Milley to ask if the nation's nuclear weapons were secure. He's crazy, she said of Trump. You know he's crazy. He's been crazy for a long time. So don't say you don't know what his state of mind is. And look, understandably, as there's this attack.
Dude, if Nancy Pelosi is calling you crazy, you're crazy. That is undoubtable. She knows her people.
Back on the Capitol, as there's absolute chaos, as there's a giant group of people, chanting "Hang Mike Pence." Pelosi's concerned that Donald Trump might do something even crazier, and she wants to make sure that the nuclear arsenal is safe and that he's not going to do something that could cause irreparable harm. And so, according to Bob Woodward and Robert Costa, who recounted this conversation in their book Peril, Milley replied, "Madam Speaker, I agree with you on everything." He then said, according to the authors, "I want you to know this in your heart of hearts. I can guarantee you 110% that the military, use of military power, whether it's nuclear or a strike in a foreign country of any kind, we're not going to do anything illegal and crazy." That was it. That was the entire.
Before I got into this YouTube thing, before I got into this political thing, I don't think I completely understood all the things that I knew now. I have to say, I am so happy that there are some adults behind the scenes. It is absolutely just like mind-numbingly scary that Donald Trump was so crazy that there were people behind the scenes going, keep him away from the nuclear weapons. Like, I don't think of myself as being the most responsible person you'll ever meet. Like, I don't think I should be president of the United States. But you guys can trust me around the nuclear codes, okay? I'm not looking to do all that. I got children. I got a wife who just brought me pizza. And who is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Peachtree. She is beautiful. And she's a wonderful person. I can't believe that there's like literal phone calls going on behind the scenes where Nancy Pelosi and Mark Milley are going like, keep him away from the nuclear weapons. We shouldn't ever have a president of the United States that has to be kept away from the nuclear weapons. Holy shot. All right, guys. We're going to go to Rumble now. We're going to pop over to it. We're going to open it up because it's about to begin in 48 seconds. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please like and subscribe. If you want to support a soulless ginger for 10 cents a day, you can join the Ginger Army. The button's right there on the screen. I do take super chats as well. Donate to help me buy cool little stuff like this boom arm and the camera, the mic, all that stuff. I appreciate you guys showing up. You don't ever have to give me any money, but I always do appreciate it. We're gonna be on Twitch. We're gonna be on YouTube. We're gonna be on Kick and Facebook tonight. So we're branching out. We're doing big things. We're not on Rumble yet, Chicago, because I need like 4 more followers. So if you could go to any of those platforms and follow me, I would appreciate you guys bigly, huge.
Leaders in our nation's
Here we go.
Ronald Reagan, the Gipper, the great communicator, America's 40th commander-in-chief. He railed against big government.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
Sought peace through strength.
Reagan was kind of based on a couple things. I've got to admit that.
40 years after Reagan's landslide re-election, the Republican Party faces critical questions. What does it mean to be a conservative?
We fight for the truth.
We are not going to worry about what the
Mom
media
Desantis
say about us.
What is the key to a thriving economy?
It's innovation, not regulation.
America could do for anyone what she's done for me.
We will stop the spending. We will stop the borrowing. We will stop the earmarks.
What is America's
role in the
world?
We need to build
Handmaid's Tale
to the widening challenges in an ever more dangerous world.
Sometimes you avoid war.
Chris Christie's my favorite right now.
And the country faces even more challenges. Would Reagan even recognize the country in which we now live? Tonight, candidates seeking the Republican nomination converge in California to chart a new path for the grand old party. Now is the time for choosing.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this. It's happening, Bucket. But from what I understand, Donald Trump wasn't even like asked to come to this. That the Reagan Library actually asked him to stay away from this debate. So he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to show up." They didn't want him to show up. Uh-oh. Hold on.
Welcome to the
Nightbot, calm down. Sorry, Nightbot's kind of a Nazi.
We're inside the spectacular Air Force One pavilion, where the stage is set for a showdown. I'm Stuart Varney of Fox Business.
Careful with Nightbot, guys.
I'm thrilled to be sitting alongside my co-moderators, Fox News Channel.
Let me see if I can fix Nightbot's craziness.
Univision.
Good evening.
Oh, that was only mildly awkward.
Thank you, Stuart.
Dude, she is crazy looking.
Describe America as a shining city on a hill. And tonight, 7 candidates will make the case they should be the one to lead that city into a brighter tomorrow. But first, they have to convince you, the voter. Please allow me to welcome our Spanish-speaking audience. Muy buenas noches a todos.
It is like Hunger Games, Nathan. I'm not streaming on Rumble, though, because I can't stream on Rumble until I get like 5 more followers.
Para las primarias del partido. Bienvenidos.
And good evening. So let's meet the candidates who have qualified and chosen to be on this stage tonight. They are positioned by the order they rank in the polls, with the highest polling candidate in the middle. Standing center stage,
Jesus Christ.
Ron DeSantis.
Oh, yeah. Try to smile, buddy. Try to smile. Let's see the weird, awkward. Yep, there it is. Oh, yeah. Speaking of smiles, Redong's poison the crowd. Nikki Haley, one of the only halfway sane people on there. Tim, I'm going to bore you to sleep, Scott. Chris Christie, our Democrat plant.
Former Vice President Mike Pence.
And the Handmaid's Tale.
And North Dakota Governor Doug.
Holy. He does not look like a human being. He looks like a marionette or something like that. He's like a puppet.
1 minute to answer and 30 seconds to respond if singled out. When their time
Big ass comes.
We'll all
exactly,
hear
King.
this. We have a lot of ground to cover,
shit.
so please keep it civilized.
Let's get going.
Oh, these guys don't got no fight in them. There's no fight in these guys. They're all just getting cucked so hard by Donald Trump right now.
And character of Ronald Reagan. It's a place that makes you proud to be an American. Yet today our nation is drowning in division and incivility.
They got a whole ass plane in there.
The 2024 election and
Good Lord.
politics exhausting. 2 in 3 Americans think the country is on the wrong track. And 3 in 4 say the economy is not in good shape.
Prices are up 18% since 2020. More than half of the U.S. population has little access to childcare. 85% of Americans say their personal finances are a source of stress.
Americans want to believe a leader who says,
You think that's an inflatable plane, Bucket?
I've got you.
Might
Don't
be.
worry. President Biden is trying to do that with Bidenomics.
And
Which are working.
he joined the
Which
picket
are
lines
working.
where auto workers are demanding more wages and job security. Senator Scott, you recently reacted by praising Ronald Reagan for firing air traffic controllers in the 1980s, saying,
"Oh God, we're going to start with him?
You're fired."
Come on.
Would you fire thousands of striking auto workers today, Senator?
Obviously, the President of the United States cannot fire anybody in the private sector. However, we should look back at the first bill in Congress under Joe Biden. The first bill had $86 billion for the union pensions because they continue to overpromise yet underdeliver. One of the challenges that we have in the current negotiations is that they want 4-day French work weeks, but more money. They want more benefits.
How dare they?
Hours. That is simply
how dare they?
To stand.
Shut the
committee here.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Tim Scott.
The committee who's promised pensions.
This is a dude who probably works 2 days a week. Talking about people wanting to work 4 days a week and get paid more.
$1,000 a month. We must make sure that we honor.
Bro, you about to shut down the government. You about to not even go to work.
Do not overpromise and then underdeliver and leave the taxpayers on the hook. I'll say this. Joe Biden should not be on the picket line. He should be on the southern border working to close our southern border.
Why does it always have to do with immigrants? What the fuck does immigrants have to do with the UAW?
Leading to the deaths of 70,000 Americans in the last 12 months.
I hate Tim Scott.
It is devastating. Every county in America is now a border county because fentanyl has devastated Americans in every single state.
That is mostly coming through our ports.
6 million illegal crossings since Joe Biden has taken office. And he eliminated Title 42. The one thing he should do
please. Ding, ding.
is
ding,
finish
ding.
the wall,
ding, ding.
reinstate Title 42, and get the job done.
God, I hate him.
That we are going to have a lot of questions on the border and immigration, but in the meantime, we do want to talk about the economy and jobs.
Nothing to do with the question, Jessica. Nothing to do with the question.
Mr. Ramaswamy, you've said you really empathize with the strikers. You're standing next to Senator Scott, and do you agree with what he said, or do you think he's wrong?
Not going to answer your question
either.
either.
Some of what he said, for sure. I like the spirit of it. I'll say that I don't have a lot of patience for the union bosses. I think that's where he and I actually have a common view. I do have a lot of sympathy for the workers, however.
Ah, there we go, Vivek.
Real hardship in this country. I've been through hardship growing up. My father stared down layoffs at GE under Jack Welch's tenure at the GE plant in Evendale, Ohio.
This guy was rich when he was like 20.
In nursing homes in Southwest Ohio to make ends meet and pay off our home loan. So I understand that hardship is not a choice, but victimhood is a choice. And we choose to be victorious.
You're literally
in
trying
the
to be a
United States
victim
of America.
right now.
You know what? If I was giving advice to those workers, I would say go picket in front of the White House in Washington, D.C. That's really where the protest needs to be. Disastrous economic policies.
Even Tim Scott's bored. Even Tim Scott's like, shut the fuck up.
And mortgage rates. At the same time, wages remaining stagnant.
Yeah, exactly,
What we need is to
Peachtree.
deliver economic growth in this country. Unlock American energy. Drill, frack, burn coal, embrace nuclear
Keyword,
energy.
keyword,
Put people back
keyword.
to work by no longer paying them more money to stay at home. Stabilize the U.S. dollar itself and rescind a majority of those unconstitutional
We don't
federal
do the
regulations
unemployment thing.
that are hampering
We
our
don't do the
economy.
unemployment thing
That
anymore.
is how we unleash American
Does Vivek know that?
exceptionalism. And that's not a Democratic vision or a Republican vision. That is an American vision that we embrace economic growth, and capitalism is still the best system known to man to lift us up from poverty, and we should not apologize for it. That's what it means to be an American.
Are we apologizing? Oh, that's their people. Trump Jr. Oh, Trump Jr.
The CEOs of General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis make 336 times the number of rank and file workers.
Oh, these people
That's
don't care
just
about
part
that.
Of a wider
They
income
don't care about
inequality
that.
trend in the country. The richest 1% now controls
Just, you know, if you got gay in your heart, let it out.
Vice President Pence, last week you said you side with American workers.
Oh, not Handmaid still.
But you also support how these companies operate. Which is it?
Well, thank you for the question. I want to thank
Jesus
Univision
Christ.
and Fox Business for assembling such a wonderful
All the Mexicans out there.
Look, I do disagree with something Tim Scott just said. Joe Biden doesn't belong on a picket line. He belongs on the unemployment line.
Mike Pence. Calm down, Mike Pence.
State in the country per capita.
was that?
I was governor of the
That's
state of
dumb.
Indiana. We brought 12,000 factories back to America during our administration. I know something about manufacturing. And I got to tell you, while the union bosses are talking about class warfare and talking about disparity in wages, I have to tell you, I really believe what's driving that is Bidenomics has failed. Wages are
except
not
for that
up
it
with
hasn't.
Auto workers and all American workers are feeling
like
it.
in any
Families are
metric
struggling in this economy. And Joe Biden's Green New Deal agenda is good for Beijing and bad for Detroit.
No, it's actually terrible for China because he still has the same tariffs in place that Donald Trump did.
Automotive manufacturing into the graveyard, and beyond that also.
And the CHIPS Act is going to absolutely murder the Chinese. I don't mean that in a bad way. YouTube, don't ban me.
Of every American to join a union or not join a union as they decide.
So fierce. Exactly. So fierce.
There's no doubt that Joe Biden
he
needs
probably
to be
ate
fired.
the fly.
That's why I'm running for president. I look forward to being the next president of the United States. I will also say,
dude, Tim Scott has no chance against Joe Biden.
What she's done for me. It's why we're focusing on restoring hope, creating opportunities, and protecting the America we all love. Growing up in a single-parent household, I wondered if the American dream
Is that a black
would work
joke?
for a kid in the
Oh
inner
my
city.
God.
I've got good news for every single child. Whether you're in the inner cities of Chicago or the rural parts of Iowa, America and the dream, it is alive, it is well, and it is healthy. God bless.
God bless. We're all going to talk like this for the rest of the night. There is not going to be a single person that talks differently than this.
Showed up on that picket line. But why are those workers
Oh,
actually
Jesus
there?
Christ.
It's because of all of the spending that he has pushed through in the economy that's raised the inflation. So when you look at the fact that
inflation has
higher
actually
gas
gone
prices,
down.
higher grocery
Inflation
prices,
has actually gone down.
$7,000 more a year for families, what we need to do is I came out with an economic plan, eliminate the gas and diesel tax so that they have more money in their pocket. Let's focus on
I'm gonna
going
try and
after
calm
middle
Nightbot
America
down.
and
Sorry.
cutting taxes for middle America and collapsing those brackets. Let's get rid of unfair distortions like the state and local tax that they give to wealthy people in blue states and paid by red states. And let's make sure we make the small business taxes permanent. They only made those temporary. They made the corporate taxes permanent. Let's focus on what it takes to get more cash in the pockets of workers.
Ding, ding.
That's when we'll be able to deal with strikes like this, not sitting on a picket line
Christ.
like Joe Biden is.
Thank you, Governor Haley. We have other questions to get to about economy. Allow me to.
I just have to. I'm sorry.
Allow me to.
I would like to talk.
I'm sorry, I have to jump in.
Hold on, I want to talk.
The point, and every other network is missing the point.
He's like, I'm not going to
The
get
reason
any
why people are
chance to
striking in
talk,
Detroit
so.
is because Joe Biden's interference with capital markets and with free markets. The subsidies, we're subsidizing the automakers and we're subsidizing the cars and a particular kind of car, not every car. We're
Those damn
subsidizing
electric cars.
vehicles.
Those
And when you
damned
decide
electric
we're gonna
cars.
Take all of your taxpayer monies, take $1 billion, subsidize a certain type of vehicle.
Dude, I can
and
get
the
me a
batteries
Tesla
come
for like
from China. China
14K. So
controls
you better shut up
85% of the
before I get my
rare earth
Tesla. I
minerals.
want to get my
They're called rare
Tesla
earth
first.
Because they're measured in parts per million. China is moving 100,000 pounds of earth in Indonesia, in Africa. They're literally destroying the planet so that they can make a battery that's in a car subsidized here. That's why they're striking, because they need 2/3 less workers to build an electric car. Joe Biden, this strike is at Joe Biden's feet.
Yeah, my man, he jumped in there and got some applause. That's the only way he was going to get a chance to speak.
The follow question to Governor Christie. The government will shut down if Congress does not reach a deal
let's talk
by
about
the end
that.
of this week.
Let's talk about
Vice
that.
President Pence warns that politics of, quote, Trump's populist proteges, like Mr. Ramaswamy, are a road to ruin for the GOP. If the government shuts down, should voters blame populist Republicans?
Voters should blame everybody who's in Washington, D.C. They get sent down there to do the job, and they've been failing at doing the job for a very long time. And let's be honest about this with the voters. You know, during the Trump administration, they added $7 trillion. $7 trillion in national debt.
Get him,
and now
Chris
the Biden
Christie.
administration has put another $5 trillion on and counting. They have failed, and they're in the spot they're in now because none of them are willing to tell the truth. None of them are willing to take on the difficult issues. They just want to keep kicking the can down the road. And the inflation that Nikki spoke about is absolutely right, and it's caused by government spending.
It's actually wrong.
And that's why people all across this country are suffering tonight. And yet we don't get any answers because Joe Biden hides in his basement and won't answer as to why he's raising the debt the way he's done.
Chris Christie, come on, you're better than that. That's the best you got.
Show up here to answer questions like all the rest of us are up here to answer. He put $7 trillion on the debt. He should be in this room to answer those questions for the people you talk about.
Thank
who
you.
are suffering.
Yeah, except for he wasn't invited. He was. Somebody say he wasn't invited.
It is to the blame of everyone in Washington, D.C., who has failed to do their job and just plays to the grandstand.
The next question is for Governor Desantis.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah. Dude, it's Mom DeSantis versus Tim Scott. I like that.
Desantis, you haven't spoken. Please.
The people in Washington are shutting down the American dream with their reckless behavior. They borrowed, they printed, they spent, and now you're paying more for everything. They are the reason for that. They have shut down our national sovereignty by allowing our border to be wide open. So please spare me the crocodile tears for these people. They need to change what's going on. And where's Joe Biden? He's completely missing in action from leadership.
Actually,
and you know
we actually know where he is right now.
Donald Trump is missing in action. He should be
here we go, Mom DeSantis.
To defend
Get
his
him, Mom.
record, where they added $7.8 trillion to the debt. That set the stage for the inflation that we have now. I can tell you this, as governor of Florida, we cut taxes, we ran surpluses, we've paid down over 25% of our state debt, and I vetoed wasteful spending when it came to my desk. And as your president,
that's mom energy right there.
A spending bill that's going to cause your prices to go up. I'm going to take out this veto pen and I'm going to send it right back to them.
Don't make me take out the veto pen. Look at him. Oh, he tried to smile. He tried to smile.
On the minds of a lot of
Oh
moms
my
and dads
God,
and Americans,
that's
and
great.
I know that you've been thinking about it because childcare costs, they are up. They're topping $10,000 per month. Some families are spending up to half of their income on childcare, and they're having to decide: is it worth it for me to work?
No, stop
or
asking
does it not
Tim
make sense
Scott
for me
questions.
financially? In 3 days, the billions of dollars in pandemic-era funding is going to end, and
It's so close, Chicago. He was like,
So you had an effort to broaden eligibility for child care assistance. That fell apart last year. And
he looked surprised by that. He was like, did it?
What can you tell them if you weren't able to get it through the Congress? How could you do it as president?
Certainly one of the things I did as a member of Congress was to make sure that we protected the Head Start programs around the country, giving people the opportunity to pick and choose the place that they send their children. The challenges that we see today under the Biden administration is that the cost for daycare has gone over $15,000 per child. In the Build Back Broker plan, he called it a Build Back Better plan, it was going up to $29,000. The way we fix that problem is to make sure that we actually cut taxes and give more Americans their money back. When I helped write the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, we actually lowered a single mother's taxes by 70% on the federal level. For dual income households by 60%. Then we went a step further. We doubled the child tax credit and made it refundable. By doing that, more parents had more resources to make the decisions how to take care of their family. The one thing
I don't think Tim Scott understands how taxes work.
Keep their money. When that happens, the greatest opportunities rise from the ashes.
I need to jump in here.
I like how he finished that.
Really mischaracterized a part of my view. I think this artificial division is helpful in our party. The real divide is not between the Republicans on this stage. And in the
I love Donald Trump.
These are good people on this stage. The real divide is between the majority of us in this country who love the United States of America and share our founding ideals. Free speech, meritocracy, the idea you get ahead in this country not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character, and the fringe minority in the Democrat Party
he said minority.
that has a chokehold over that party. That's the real divide.
Oh, are we talking about a fringe minority in the Democrat Party? How about the fringe minority in the Republican Party? How about Marjorie Taylor Greene and fucking Lauren Boebert?
answer the question on
When Boebert's not groping dudes at fucking musicals.
We have all these questions. We're going to get to you. We're going to
Show us your face, brother.
You asked about childcare, nobody answered.
What's happening, James?
In North Dakota, we knew that the cliff was coming. We knew that there was going to be millions of people without it, and so guess what? We planned.
Okay.
And when we passed legislation because child care is.
They don't even know his name.
We are going to
child care is workforce
Sir,
infrastructure.
sir, we don't know your name.
President Ronald Reagan said the following.
The idea of amnesty for those who have put down roots and who have lived here, even though some time back they may have entered illegally.
2 years later, President Reagan granted amnesty to nearly 3 million immigrants, something no Democrat or Republican president
Yeah,
has
remember
done
that shit,
since.
Republicans?
Governor Christie, as governor of a non-border state in 2010, you supported a path to citizenship. But when you ran for president in 2016, you flipped, saying immigrants should be tracked.
Dude, yeah, Reagan
like
was a
FedEx
freaking
packages. Where do you stand
Californian.
now on a path to citizenship for 11
That's why they were like,
million
Trump can't come
undocumented
here.
immigrants.
That's why I didn't want him on the
Since
stage.
no one has done anything since we first had this discussion 13 years ago. We're not in a position to be able to do any of that anymore.
What are you talking
what
about?
we have to do now is first treat this like the law enforcement problem it is. Our laws are being broken every day at the southern border, every day. And Joe Biden and his crew is doing nothing about enforcing that law. They are letting it go. And by the way, they announced during the presidential race they were going to let it go. And we need to have a president who acts like I did as governor. Enforce the law first and foremost. And that means what I'll do on day one is sign an executive order to send the National Guard to partner with Customs and Border Patrol to make sure that we stop the flow of fentanyl over the border, but also to make sure
What
that
about
we send
stuff
a much
coming through the
different message.
ports?
We want you here in this country to fill the 6
we
million
go.
vacant jobs we have, but only if you come here to follow the law and
Yeah, I'm
only
fine
if
with
you
that.
come here legally. If you come here illegally, we will apprehend you and we will send you back across the border from which you came. And the fact is that until we set a law and order agenda in this country, not only now but in the future, we won't be able to continue this. And I'll tell you this. Donald Trump failed on this as well. He said he was going to build a wall across the whole border. He built 52 miles of wall and said Mexico would pay for it. Guess what? I think if Mexico knew that he was only going to build 52 miles, they might have paid for the 52 miles.
Oh, get him, Chris.
Most illegal immigrants are coming from countries south of the border. You've seen the Fox News drone. It's captured this.
I'll admit, I hated him for the first 70% of that, but I do agree with the immigrant thing. America needs immigrants, though. America 100% needs immigrants.
In the last decade, the U.S. has spent nearly $55 billion to address the root causes of migration.
We don't get immigrants,
But
we're going to have a problem with
poverty and
population
corruption, they persist,
decline.
and the number of migrants is only growing. Are we wasting our money?
Well, what happens is when Joe Biden waved the green flag, it told everybody to come. And now we've seen 6 million people cross the border. We've had more fentanyl that have killed Americans in the Iraq, Vietnam, or Afghanistan wars combined. We need to make sure that we are a country of laws. The second we stop being a country of laws, we give up everything this country was founded on. So we have to secure the border. The way we do that is, first of all, defund sanctuary cities. You see what's happening in Philadelphia right now. It's got to stop. We need to make sure
These people don't know what the fuck's going on in Philadelphia.
On the ground and let them do their job. I spent 400 miles down that border, and I'm telling you, Border Patrol agents aren't allowed to do their job. Let's go back to remain in Mexico policy. Instead of catch and release, let's go to catch and deport.
What about the aid that we've been? What about the aid that federal taxpayers are paying to deal with the root causes? It's not working.
The only aid that we should
No,
be
we need more
spending
Border
right
Patrol
now
agents. It
is
sucks to be a
secure
Border
the
Patrol
The
agent.
southern border, the
It's a
northern
fucking
border,
stressful
period.
job.
We need to keep Americans safe, and right now Americans are not safe. Only when we fix the immigration system, only when we get the border secure, should we ever look at putting any more money into this.
What?
Our money
I
should
don't
be
know
about
about that.
keeping Americans safe. We're not doing that. Joe Biden's not doing that. And you mentioned Congress and shutting down government. I'll make it clear. We have to change the budget process In 4 years.
Yeah,
in 40
I'm good with
years,
immigrants. I don't know that we
Congress
should
has
just be
only
taking the
delivered a
money
budget on time
and letting like
4
everybody
times
come in.
40
That's a
years.
little much,
If they
guys.
don't keep the government open,
Guys.
they should not get paid. No pay, no budget. That's the way we should have
Governor DeSantis, we have a question.
Oh, these guys like that.
Governor DeSantis, China invested $12 billion in Latin America just last year. They signed strategic partnerships with 7 countries.
Right? She's
including
from
Mexico.
an immigrant family.
And China's military ties to the region
Exactly.
now include
We need
arms
immigrants.
sales and
I'm
training
all for
exercises.
border laws and
China
keeping
deeply
criminals
ties
out of
with our
America, but we
southern
do need
neighbors.
immigrants. We just need it
And
to
the
be.
reason why
Oh
we're in
wait,
this
mom's
mess is
talking.
because elites in D.C. for far too long have chosen surrender over strength when it comes to the CCP. Some people in our country got rich, our industrial base got hollowed out, and they have been able to build the second most powerful military in the entire world.
Behind
we need
us.
a totally new approach to China. We are going to have real hard power in the Indo-Pacific, like Reagan, to deter their ambitions. We're going to have economic independence from China, where we're decoupling our economy, and we are going to go
We're already
after the
doing that.
cultural power they have in this country. As governor of Florida, I banned the CCP from buying land in our state. We should do that all across these United States. We shouldn't have them in our universities. We shouldn't have Confucius institutes. So you see a country in
party of the
decline,
slippery
our
slope
power's in
starting
decline.
fucking give me fears of a
China's gonna
slippery
surpass
slope.
us this decade, and if they do that, that's going to affect every single American household. As your president, I am not going to let that happen. I'm going to reverse this country's
As the mom of
decline. We are
this
gonna choose
country,
strength,
I will
surrender
not
when it
allow
comes to
that.
the CCP.
Smile. Come on. Try to smile.
Under Joe Biden, we are a country in retreat.
Proposed, quote, universal deportation for all undocumented immigrants and their children, even if the children are citizens of the United States. Under what legal premise will you expel U.S. citizens?
So the first thing I want to say is I agree with everything. The Republicans on the stage are on the right side of this issue. Militarize the southern border, stop funding sanctuary cities, and end foreign aid to Mexico and Central America to end the incentives to come across. But I do go a step further. You're right about that, Ilya. I favor ending birthright citizenship.
Holy
Kids
shit.
of illegal immigrants in this country.
Wow.
Now, what do you howl about the Constitution and the 14th
Vivek,
Amendment?
buddy.
The difference between me and them is I've actually read the 14th Amendment. What it says is that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the laws and jurisdiction thereof are citizens. So nobody believes that the kid of a Mexican diplomat in this country enjoys birthright citizenship. Not a judge or legal scholar in this country will
look at
disagree
Mom.
with me on that.
Mom's getting
well, if
mad.
the kid of a Mexican diplomat doesn't enjoy birthright citizenship, then neither does the kid of an illegal migrant who broke the law to come here. And as the father of 2 sons, it is hard for me to look them in the eye and say,
Oh,
you have
Jesus
to follow
Christ.
the law.
Oh,
when
Jesus
our
Christ.
own government fails to follow its own laws. That's how we really
Oh,
go the distance
fuck.
and solve this problem and restore the rule of law in the United States of America, because that is part of what it even means.
Does
to
he
be an
understand
American.
we have a population decline problem in America?
What does Mr. Ramaswamy have wrong with
Oh
that
my
issue?
God.
There's no doubt the fact that when you think of the Constitution and the 14th Amendment, it was certainly written as it relates to slavery, not as it relates to illegal immigration. It's been applied to illegal immigration. So the challenge that we face is, in fact, one that has to do with whether or not the people that come here are under the jurisdiction of our laws. And frankly, if you come here illegally, you are not. Now, surviving a Supreme Court argument is something I can't tell you.
Yeah, no, because you know the answer is no. You know it's no.
It's simple. That clearly it was designed for slavery and not for illegal immigration. I'll go one step further, though. When we have a conversation about the things that are
Dude,
happening
even
on this
Clarence
stage,
Thomas
we think
doesn't
about the
agree
fact
with
that
you.
Vivek just said we were all good people, and I appreciate that, because last debate he said we were all bought and paid for. And I thought about that for a little while.
I
and
know,
said,
right, Omega?
I can't imagine
That poor
how
lady's
you
like,
could say that, knowing that you were just in business with the Chinese Communist Party and the same people that funded.
Oh, they found out some shit about
Hunter Biden
Vivek.
millions of dollars was a partner of yours as well.
Oh, wow! Tim Scott came with receipts!
These are good people.
Oh, he's ready!
Tainted by a broken system, and it's not the fault.
Oh, this is way better than the first one, guys. This is way better.
Thank you for speaking while I'm interrupting. While I'm speaking.
Thank you for speaking while I'm interrupting.
You can't be on both sides.
Gentlemen, you'll have your turn.
One of the challenges.
Get this under control, Mom.
Have a debate
Mom DeSantis needs to put on her big girl dress.
Focus on holding Joe Biden accountable. That's what we need to be.
Exactly. Mom DeSantis needs to get the room under control.
I agree with Ron DeSantis on China. When every other CEO expanded into the Chinese market, you know what I did with my first company? We opened a subsidiary in China. But you know what I did?
He's like, yeah, I didn't do that shit.
We got the hell out of there. And when I started my next company, Strive, right when it that's years ago.
Sorry guys, I can't do anything about Nightbot right now. I don't know how to turn Nightbot off, and Nightbot is like the biggest police force of all time. Sorry about that.
In China, and I will say something.
Yes. I think you have more than time to explain your point.
Well, if I was interrupted by a lot of people here, and I want to disagree with because I believe these are good people, but I do not believe in these. We're sitting here in the Reagan Library.
Yes, I wish you
in
did
the
not
honor of Ronald Reagan's library, if I may, from one admirer of Ronald Reagan to another.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, here we go.
We cannot do deals with the violate
4 years ago. I want to hear about it.
Let's have a policy debate.
What's going on?
Let us have a policy debate.
Let's have about their record.
Let's have a policy debate. And the right answer is we need to declare independence from China.
Oh, look at Chris Christie. He's chambered. He's ready to go.
In 2017, the Trump-Pence administration canceled DACA.
Yeah, he's Donald Jr. Fist fight. Fist fight.
Dreamers in the hands of the courts. Dreamers work and they pay taxes. As president, if the Supreme Court ends DACA, would you work with Congress to reach a permanent solution for dreamers?
Well, first let me say I'm glad Vivek pulled out of his business deal in 2018 in China. That must have been about the time you decided to start voting in presidential elections. So,
damn, son.
Participating in elections. So, let me speak to this issue. Number one, I negotiated the Remain in Mexico policy with the Mexican government. We used economic power to bring the Mexican government to the table.
Me and mother.
We built hundreds of miles of border wall. And despite what's said here today, we reduced illegal immigration and asylum abuse by 90%. And as President of the United States, I can do it again. And the truth is, we need to fix a broken immigration system, and I'll do that as well. But
what would a Mike Pence, Mom DeSantis presidency look like? Mom and Dad
to do it, and we will do it again. Let me say one other thing about China. Let me say one other thing about China.
Negotiate with Congress to give a solution to the problem that dreamers have right now. They are on a limit.
Get him.
Well, let me tell you, I served in Congress for 12 years, although it seemed longer. But you know,
not going to answer that question.
Than everybody on this stage is I've actually secured.
Dude, answer the fucking question.
You know, Ron, you talk a really good game about cutting spending, but you've increased spending in Florida by 30%.
He just deflects.
When I was a member of Congress in 2006,
Mommy, Daddy ticket.
Right after Hurricane
Is Mike
Katrina,
Pence even allowed to be in a room with Ron DeSantis by himself without mother?
House conservatives, we cut
that might be a conflict.
$100 out of the federal budget. It can be done, but as I said in the last debate, I'll say again, this is no time for on-the-job training. I'm going to be ready.
Oh, now he's going on Vivek.
To get Congress to step up, secure the southern border of the United States, build a military fitted to our
He's
times,
directing air
and we're
traffic.
Gonna get spending in Washington, D.C. under control.
Vivek's like, I'd like to talk. Like to talk.
On the other side of this break, and I propose to go to a break. How will these candidates make America safer as rising crime?
Look at Vivek. He can't stop.
Debate night.
He's like, oh, I got cut off. Oh, sweet Jesus, guys.
Do you?
No, we don't want to hear your commercials. Woo! All right, what do you guys think? I mean, if so far for me, it's just a shit show, to be honest with you. I think actually Tim Scott's doing better than I thought he would because he's actually like going after Vivek. I like to see the fire. Last time Tim Scott was just kind of a robot and he just said words that didn't mean anything. Obviously, nobody's answering a goddamn question. That's just normal. I mean, that's actually like a hearkening back to old politics. Without Donald Trump on the stage, like they have to just filibuster their time away. I think it's amazing that the guy from was it North Dakota, like has actually like somehow like he's getting Andrew Yanged over there so hard, and he's like, I'm not letting that happen. I'm gonna get to talk. Like he was so ready. Like Vivek had his hand up, and he was like, No, I'm gonna talk. I'm going to talk. And they cut his ass off and send it to commercial. Don't forget to buy gold, guys. I love watching the Republican stuff. It is God, gold, and guns like 24/7. Just be afraid. Be so afraid. Don't forget to get your gold commemorative coins, old people. They know their audience. They know their audience. Yeah, DeSantis, but he still has mom charisma, Redonk. You don't feel like he's gonna like kind of like tell you have to go to your room? I feel like he's always just about to tell me I have to go to my room. Christy Riff's all, yeah, it looks like Christy's just waiting. I'm gonna be so sad when they cut down even further because Chris Christie's probably not gonna make the cut. Like then it's gonna be. Can you imagine what this shit show's gonna look like when it's just like who's it gonna be? I guess it'll be Mom DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Vivek, and who would be the fourth? I don't have those numbers in front of me. I know Nikki Haley took over. The last poll put her above DeSantis, which I actually have to give Republicans some credit there. Nikki Haley is probably one of the better candidates running at this point, as far as like if you're a Republican and you're not insane. I'm not looking to vote for Nikki Haley, but I could see where if I was a Republican, I would be interested. I don't even know what that's going to look like when it gets down to 4 of these people. Mike Pence is like at 2% right now. Asa Hutchinson literally fell out so hard. But I don't know if you guys saw that. Asa went in on Donald Trump wherever I think he's in Detroit right now, and talked mad shit about Donald Trump while he was in Detroit. So Asa, not a guy that I'm into. Last time it looked like he had pink eye in both eyes. Like he touched a little too much butthole and then touched both his eyes. But at least he's doing the Lord's work out there, going in on Trump. Like, do your thing, big guy. Do your thing. Oh, man. Yeah, Nikki's beating pudding fingers right now, Bucket. Yeah, it's happening. Vivek and DeSantis, Mom, both of them are losing to Nikki. Let's see. Yep, got that black rifle cover. Like I said, it's God, gold, and guns, bro. God, gold, and guns. The one thing that stayed consistent, don't forget your gold coins, guys. Don't forget your gold coins. Protect your retirement with gold coins. This isn't real. Like watching a Republican debate. Oh, God, it's so funny. On gold IRAs. Look, I'm all for gold. I'm not buying your gold coins, okay? I want bars. I want gold bars like that freaking Democrat dude.
And welcome back to the Reagan Line.
We're going to talk about that later because our party's fucking up a little bit there, too. That dude had $480,000 in gold
bars. The more you mention each other, that means a fewer questions you're going to get. Okay.
Really just not doing the party any favors.
Crime. This has been a horrendous problem in our country. The Fox News and others have been covering it. Governor Christie, crime in major cities is striking fear into the hearts of Americans.
Pills.
Just last night, looters.
You gotta have Viagra with your God golden guns.
You said in the last debate that you would use U.S. attorneys to prosecute crimes local prosecutors won't. But
this shit drives me nuts.
As well, and they could not handle
them shutting down 9 targets because people are doing that flash mob stealing shit. Like that is a problem.
Were elected by their constituents, and they can't be fired by a president. So what would you do to end the revolving door of criminality?
And I don't give a shit about Target's problems.
I'm the only one on this stage who's done it.
I care about those employees,
For 7
man.
years, I ran the 5th largest office in this country. At the U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey, and we set records for the number of prosecutions that we brought that still have not been broken. And the reason was that we went after the crime that was affecting people's lives. And as president, I will appoint an attorney general and instruct that attorney general that you are to put all the resources that are necessary to bring our cities back under control. The fact is, they will be stretched. There's no doubt about that, but that's what they take the job for, because they love the idea of enforcing the law. We've got to bring law and order back to this country, and not just in our cities. But we need law and order back everywhere. We need law and order back in our suburbs. People are threatened there. We need it in our rural areas. People feel threatened there. And we need it in Washington, D.C. also.
Suburbs
and
are doing
Donald Trump
too bad
should be
there,
here to
Chris.
answer for that, but he's not. And I want to look at the camera right now and tell you, Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage.
No,
and
God
defending
damn
your
it,
record.
man.
You're
Tell
ducking
them it's
these
because he
things.
didn't
And
get
let me tell you what's
invited.
gonna happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
All right.
Oh.
Governor DeSantis, you
Chris Christie using a Disney reference with Mom DeSantis on the stage.
You would not have the ability to do that.
He's gonna get
How do you
Mom DeSantis is gonna
think
get worked up
dealing
about
with the
that.
root causes of crime, especially this revolving door of the criminals that just get out and come back and commit another crime?
Well, the crime in these cities is one of the strongest signs of the decaying of America. We can't be successful as a country if people aren't even safe to live in places like Los Angeles and San Francisco. Just being in Southern California over the last couple of days, my wife and I have met 3 people who have been mugged on the street, and that would have never happened 10 or 20 years ago.
I can't take him seriously.
We back the blue.
He says something like people got mugged, and I laugh at him. I can't take him
We
seriously.
have a 50-year low in the crime rate, and yes, when I had 2 progressive
America needs a mom.
following the law in Florida, I removed them from their posts, and the people of Florida are safer as a result of it. As president, I will use the Justice Department to bring civil rights cases against all of those left-wing Soros-funded prosecutors. We're not going to let them get away with it anymore.
Oh, he pulled out the
Reverse this
keywords.
country's decline.
Soros-funded.
We need to choose law and order over rioting and disorder.
Look at this smile.
Governor Haley, there's a
Someone's got to make a
nationwide
compilation
policing
of him trying to smile.
Retirements are up, recruitment is in the tank, morale is at a record low. 3 years ago, you signed a pledge to support law enforcement. Now, pledges are a nice idea, but what's your actual plan to get more police on our streets?
Well, and I actually did it in South Carolina, too. You know, what we knew in South Carolina was you take care of those who take care of you. We have to start taking care of law enforcement, but it's not just taking care of them with words. It's making sure that you also follow through on what they do. Right now, we have a lot of stolen guns on the street. Well, these law enforcement officers, they arrest these people, and then they go and they're let out the very next day. So law enforcement feels like no one has their back. We have to start prosecuting according to the law. We have to make sure we have the backs of law enforcement, and we have to make sure that we're a country of law and order. But I want to go back to China because I don't think we've spent enough time on that. Right now, we have to look at what government's doing to hurt us against China, too. You have a company, U.S. Antibiotics, that produces amoxicillin, the #1 antibiotic that we need. And right now, there is a company in Bristol, Tennessee, that produces that, yet our federal government only gets it from China. We need to be focusing on companies that produce in America and supporting those companies that produce in America, not companies
You mean
that are
like
helping
the
China.
CHIPS Act? You mean like the CHIPS Act?
Thank you, Stuart. We're going to stay in the topic of crime because it affects all of us. Governor Burgum, for the first time ever, a Univision
he's gonna
poll
get
found
talked
that
to.
mass shootings and gun safety are one of the most important issues for Latino voters. Mental health concerns
He's a strange
are not
looking dude.
unique to the United States, but gun violence is. What is your specific plan?
Every Republican on a stage right now is like, is this minority
first
talking to
we
me?
Understand is I think that the liberal left seems to be just completely bent on prosecuting law-abiding citizens that are gun owners, because every solution they have to this is take away the Second Amendment rights of Americans, and somehow that's going to solve the problem. But all these cities that we're talking about that you showed the videos of tonight, they have some of the strictest gun laws in the country. So we know that that's not what's working. But what we have to do is get back to the core issues about the family. We have to get back to behavioral health and mental health. We've got to get back to actually enforcing the laws these people talked about. And like we've done in North Dakota, where we've got the goal and we're on the track to being the most military-friendly state in the nation. We've got the most military and the most support of what we're doing in terms of law enforcement, because the morale is down because we've been defunding the police, because they've been attacked in the press. The police have become the bad guys when they're the one. There's all these jobs available in America. Why would you be a policeman?
Stay on topic.
Every time I see a policeman, the first thing I say is thank you. And so does everybody else in my family and most of the people in our state, because they know we have to respect the people that are out there defending us every single day.
Oh my God. What did he even say?
According to Customs and Border Protection, about 90% of fentanyl is seized at official border crossings, and 57% of the smugglers are U.S. citizens.
Oh, called out, son.
Into the country, mostly by U.S. citizens, through ports
Dude,
of
he
entry.
can't slow down,
There's two
Redonk. If he
sides to this,
slows
and we
down,
have to
he
be
doesn't
very
get any
honest about
time.
it. One is we do have to seal that southern border. Building the wall is not enough. They're building cartel-financed tunnels underneath that wall. Semi-trucks can drive through them. We have to use our own military to seal the Swiss cheese of a southern border.
knows what he's
But we
talking
also have to
about.
be honest. There's a demand-side problem in this country, too. A mental health epidemic.
There you go.
I met family in Iowa. Two parents.
Oh, shit,
Kathy
no, he
and Derek.
didn't.
They lost their son, Sebastian, 17 years old. He bought Percocet on Snapchat, and then he died. Why did he die? Because it was laced with fentanyl. That is closer
I've got some
to
questions. I'm
bioterrorism,
not going
a
to
drug
go there.
overdose.
I'll let the
That is
chat do it.
poisoning. So it is our job to make sure that never happens.
Handle that story,
but it's
chat.
also our job to make sure that 17-year-olds don't turn to Percocet via Snapchat. We have to bring back mental health care in this country, not with pumping pharmaceuticals, but with faith-based approaches.
Vivek's like, when I was younger, you got drugs from appropriate people. We didn't use Snapchat.
Social media, and this isn't a Republican point or a Democrat point, but if you're 16 years old or under, you should not be using an addictive social media product, period. This is something that we can both agree on.
Oh, Vivek's going to take away citizenship for fucking illegal aliens born in the U.S., and he's going to take away social media for people that are 16.
9/11, and I refuse to be a passive bystander sitting in the White House like the hollowed out husk of a current president we have. We will step up and address this problem to stand for Americans.
I do. I want to see fentanyl taken care of just like everybody else does.
As Commander-in-Chief, I'm going to use the U.S. military.
And only
to go
Mom
after
DeSantis
the
is going to
Mexican
take care of
drug
this,
cartels.
okay? Because
They
only
are
a mom
killing
can
our
handle
people.
this. All
And the
right,
stories
Redonk.
that I've
Your
seen
guy
before,
Vivek
we
has
have
no
in
chance,
18 months,
but Mom
terrorists rented an
DeSantis will
Airbnb,
go in there with the
and apparently
power
the
of the
people that
mom,
rented
the
it before were
authority of the
using
mom,
drugs. The
and there will be no fentanyl
toddler was crawling
at this
on the
house.
carpet and ingested fentanyl residue. And
Everybody's got a
died.
story.
Are we just going to sit here and let this happen, this carnage happen in our country?
Yeah,
I
you're
am
right.
not going to do that.
You're
So
right,
I guarantee
Redonk.
you on day one, this border is going to be a day one issue for me as president. We're going to declare it a national
No
emergency.
one's
Yes, we'll
no
build the
one's
wall.
going
We'll do
to
remain in
fucking
Mexico,
address the
but
fact
those
that she
Mexican
said
drug
that the
cartels are gonna be
57%
treated
of
like
it
the
was
foreign terrorists.
U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens. Not illegal immigrants. U.S. citizens. Nobody addressed that.
Last month, Vice President Pence, you said if elected, you would repeal all Obamacare mandates. However, you also made that same promise in 2016. And at that time, Trump-Pence had congressional majorities for at least the first 2 years, and you did not deliver on that promise. So Obamacare, right now, it is more popular than ever. Why should Americans trust you, if you become president, to fix that, or is Obamacare here to stay?
Well, first, let me speak to the mass shootings issue, and then I'll answer that question. It's an important one.
No.
Look, I'm someone that believes that justice delayed is justice denied. And as a father of three, as the grandfather of three beautiful little girls,
I was going to say, hold on.
I am sick and tired of these mass shootings happening in the United States of America. And if I'm president of the United States, I'm going to go to the Congress of the United States.
I can just see the anger.
And we're going to pass a federal expedited death penalty for anyone involved in a mass shooting so that they will meet their fate in months, not years. It is unconscionable that the Parkland shooter, Ron, is actually going to spend the rest of his life behind bars in Florida. That's not justice. We have to mete out justice and send a message.
Mike Pence wants to go there.
You are not going to live out your days behind bars. You're going to meet justice in this system.
But does that mean Obamacare is here to stay?
Just answer one question.
Well, thank you for reiterating the question, because I'd love to answer it. Look, I think it's one of the choices here. You know, my former running mate, Donald Trump, actually has a plan to start to consolidate more power in Washington, D.C., consolidate more power in the executive branch. If I'm president of the United States, it's my intention to make the federal government smaller by returning to the states those resources and programs that are rightfully theirs under the 10th Amendment of the Constitution. That means all Obamacare funding, all housing funding, all HHS funding, all of it goes back to the states. We'll shut down the federal Department of Education. We'll allow states to
everybody hates
innovate.
the Department of
We're going
Education.
to revive federalism in America, and states are going to help bring America back.
But Stu, go ahead.
May I remind everyone to keep within their time frame so that we can get as many questions.
Yeah, so the dude on the end can actually talk again.
For Governor Desantis, over 26 million Americans
Tim Scott wants in.
have insurance coverage. Governor DeSantis, 2.5 million of them are in your state. That's worse than the national average. Can Americans trust you on this?
Well, I think this is a symptom of our overall economic decline. Everything has gotten more expensive. You see insurance rates are going through the roof. People that are going to get groceries. I spoke with a woman in Iowa.
Oh, Jesus. Every one of these people talked to somebody in Iowa.
Things out of my grocery cart when I get to the checkout line because the total goes up so quickly. So this is very real, and people are
He
hurting
got no
out there.
pizzazz,
So
Charlotte. He got no pizzazz at all. That's because Mike Pence is a robot. He's got no emotion.
Taking all Biden's rules and regulations, I'm going to throw them in the trash can on day one. You're not going to have to worry about that. We're going to open up all of our energy. We will be energy dominant in this country. That will lower your gas prices. And what we need to do with health care is recognize our health care is putting patients at the back of the bus. We have big pharma, big insurance, and big government, and we need to tackle
Everything's
that
big.
and have more power for the people and the doctor-patient relationship.
Governor, why is your record in Florida on insurance worse than the national average?
Our state's a dynamic state. We've got a lot of folks that come.
Very
Of course, we've got a
complicated.
population boom.
Very
We
complex.
also don't have a lot of welfare benefits in Florida. You know, we're basically say we want to. This is a field of dreams. You can do well in the state, but we're not going to be like California and have massive numbers of people on government programs without work requirements. We believe you work and you got to do that, and so that goes for all the welfare benefits. And you know what that's done, Stuart? Our unemployment rate is the lowest amongst any big state. We have the highest GDP growth amongst any big state.
Y'all gotta
Even
work.
CNBC,
Y'all
no
better
fan
get
of
to
mine,
work in
ranked
Florida.
Florida, the #1 economy in America.
On the topic of healthcare,
Being a single mother must suck in Florida.
is the leading cause of bankruptcy for American families, accounting for 2/3 of all personal bankruptcies. As president, how you protect Americans who get sick from financial ruin?
Yeah.
First of all, how
There
can
you
we
go.
be the
That's
best
a
country
good
in the world
question.
and have the most expensive health care in the world? We have an issue. My mom was in the hospital, and when she was in the hospital, they tried to bring her a couple of Tylenol, and she said, "I don't need it." And they said, "Honey, go ahead and take it because you're paying for it anyway." Why is it that when we got the bill, the insurance company and the hospital negotiated the bill for her without her having anything to
Those
do
are
with
good
it?
points.
When I am president, we will break all of it, from the insurance company to the hospitals to the doctor's offices to the PBMs to the pharmaceutical companies. We will make it all transparent, because when you do that, you will realize that's what the problem is. Second
Never
thing
gonna
is you gotta
happen,
deal
but
with
that sounds
tort
really
law.
good.
The doctors don't give you the 10 tests because they want to. It's because of the 90% chance they'll get sued. And then we need to bring competition back to healthcare, get rid of certificate of need systems, and make sure that they can compete. We have to put the patient in the driver's seat. They've been in the back seat for way too long. And once we give the patient the ability to decide their health care, deciding which plan they want, that is when we will see magic happen. But we're going to have to make every part of the industry open up and show us where their warts are, because they all have them, and we need to fix this on behalf of the American people.
I actually don't have a problem with that answer. That was actually an okay answer.
Well, yes, we're not talking about the real problem ever. We talk about why do we have the most expensive health care in the world? It's because the federal government got involved the same way they did with EVs, and they said, we're going to subsidize a particular kind of software back in 2008 under Obama, and they said, hey, we're going to do this. It's going to make everybody more productive. All of you that are watching have been to a doctor's office when the doctor's got his back to you and their hands on a keyboard. The only industry in the world that's ever absorbed $1 trillion of IT and became less productive, they saw less patients per day, is U.S. healthcare.
That's not a bad thing.
Subsidizing a certain kind of technology. It wasn't about improving healthcare.
They're seeing
It was
less
about picking winners and
Oh my
losers.
God.
Every time the federal government's
my
involved,
God.
whether it's higher education, healthcare, or now the auto industry, things get more expensive.
It shouldn't
and
be a
less competitive.
fucking factory. It's not a fast food market. You shouldn't be seeing as many patients a day as possible. Should be spending time with the people and finding out what their ailments are and actually fixing people. The problem in America is doctors try to see 1 million motherfuckers a day to get money from them because that's how they make their money.
America is and what she represents in the long history of the world.
Poor Reagan. I'm sorry, Reagan. The one thing about Republicans nowadays is it makes you like
and where the economy
actually.
is heading?
Oh Jesus
Does the
Christ!
thought of losing your hard-earned retirement?
Fuck, this guy's gonna just bring down the party every time. Oh boy. That is the governor of South Dakota, North Dakota, one of the Dakotas. I don't know his name either, but he doesn't have very good answers. I don't know if people understand that. Like, it's not a good metric how many patients per day a doctor sees. Like, there should just be more doctors. We should be encouraging people to be doctors. The fact that family practitioners are becoming less and less prevalent because there's more money in being a surgeon or a specialist. Those are the problems. Like, you're leaving this like very small amount of people that luckily are very dedicated people to become the family practitioners. And then you're telling them, see as many people a day as possible. That's not what we want. We want doctors that are spending time with patients and giving them correct diagnosis. We don't need what was happening in Florida, where doctors were literally just handing out OxyContin to people that were walking in and then walking down the street to the next doctor's office and doing it again and again and then running it back to Alabama. That's not where we need to be. That's not the problem. This is like, what I hate about all this stuff is that none of this is original thought. None of this is like what these people actually think. It's only what they think people want to hear. The best, the brightest, the most intelligent people in America are not running for office. The most experienced, the most professional people that could possibly fix all of these things aren't running for office. Oh, Jesus, is that Hercules? Holy Christ. Oh, fuck. How am I supposed to take this channel seriously? Oh. Our problem is that everybody's a populist now. People only want to see the fucking American Idol reality TV president up on stage. When Reagan ran, it was crazy. It was like, oh my God, this person's an actor. Should we vote for an actor? Like, now it's like, if we don't know who you are, I mean, we're doing the same thing. We're like, who the fuck is this guy? What the fuck has he done? But we don't vote based off of like their experience or how well they're going to do the job. It's just based off of how good they can sound. Like, we need actual people that get shit done in office. That's the problem. 3 silver mines in Nor-Ida? Oh, nice. Doing taxes is a Herculean task. I like that. I like that. I can't pause this because I want you guys to be able to see this, and I don't want you guys to be here for like 4.5 hours while I watch this. I feel bad for you guys when I do that. So this is the only time I get to rant, is when the commercials are on. Yeah, it'd be awesome if they actually did any of this stuff. How about, why doesn't Ron DeSantis answer a question about why all of these companies are pulling out of Florida, but yet he believes that climate change isn't real? Why doesn't he answer that? How about the fact that there's just like hurricanes destroying the entire fucking state? Shit's going underwater. People are getting leprosy, malaria, brain-eating algae. How about we like address any of that instead of putting on blinders and being like, I don't see it happening, I'm just going to run for president. Buy more gold because that cures leprosy. Buy some gold. Oh my God, I love that there's a tax commercial. Like, come on, guys. Is this... Here we go. I caught up. All right, back at it. All right, guys. Rant over until the next commercials.
Questions, Governor Haley. American students, they are in academic trouble. They have
Dude,
lower scores
those
in
eyelashes.
reading. There's
Those
chronic absenteeism. That's at record highs. And this has even been called education homicide. You say school choice is the answer, but South Carolina, your home state, still has not enacted universal school choice, and even the current expansion won't be fully implemented until 2027. Parents can't wait 4 years for a fix. So what would you do right now?
Well, and school choice isn't the only answer, but I'll tell you it's not out of a lack of trying that we didn't try and get school choice in South Carolina. What I'll tell you, first of all, is we have to acknowledge the fact that 67% of our 8th graders are not proficient in reading or math. Over 80%
Says you're
of
in
our
South
8th graders
Carolina.
aren't proficient in history or civics. And recently
Sorry,
they
South
came out and
Carolinas.
said our 12 and 13-year-olds are scoring at the lowest levels they've been scoring in reading and math in decades. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to make sure we catch our kids back up. We have to make sure they can read. A child that can't read by 3rd grade is 4 times less likely to graduate high school.
Yeah, you
We
think?
need to do reading remediation. We need complete transparency in the classroom. No parent should ever wonder what's being said or taught to their child in the classroom. We need to make sure that
this
we
is
have
an
school
LGBT
choice
thing.
so that there's competition.
Yeah,
We
because
need to
that's what
move
we should
all
be
the
doing on
programs
is
from the federal
focusing on
government
LGBT
down
things
to
when the
states
people
and
in your
let
state
states
can't
figure out what
read.
Education looks like in their
Sorry.
states, and we need to start building things in America again. Let's put vocational classes back in our high schools, and let's get our kids building the things that we know that we can make.
Yeah, 'cause
When
home
we start
ec.
to focus on that
Home
and
ec is
really
gonna
bring in
fucking
that
fix your
parental
kid.
involvement, that's when we'll start to see a difference. But we've got to get parents back included. We've got to quit spending time on this DEI and CRT and instead focus on financial literacy, on digital literacy, and on making sure that our kids know what
Those
they need
aren't
to do to have the jobs of the next
Those
generation.
aren't electives. Those are educational issues.
Education, a question for Governor Christie. Students in your state are getting high marks on their report cards, but minorities are not doing well with math and reading. Black and Hispanic students averaging 29 points lower than white students in New Jersey. Would you address minorities first?
Home ec was
You have to
dope.
address all
Read on.
students.
I'm not
And
gonna
look,
lie. I'm just
in
saying.
our state, Stuart, frankly, before I was governor, that gap was close to 50%. And what we did was institute more charter schools and more Renaissance schools and more public school choice in New Jersey with innovative solutions in cities like Camden, where now we took what was the worst school district in America during my time, and we have now increased that by nearly 40% in terms of their proficiency. It can be done when you give people choice. But let's tell the truth to everybody about what this is. This public school system is no longer run by the public. It is run by the teachers' unions in this country. Randy Weingarten and her crew are absolutely strangling. They are taking the worst of their members and defending them rather than advocating for our kids. And when you have the President of the United States sleeping with a member of the teachers union,
Jesus,
there is
Chris
no
Christie,
chance
come
that
on.
you could take the
Come
stranglehold
on.
away from the teachers union every day. They have an advocate inside the White House every day for the worst of their teachers, not for our students to be the best they can be. A President of the United States has to take on the teachers union. I did it in New Jersey, and I will do it as President of the United States.
Oh, come on. That's like such a weak-ass argument.
I have a question for you. Florida's new Black History curriculum
He
says
said you guys having trouble seeing me?
develop
Tim
skills
Scott.
which in some instances could be applied for their
What's
personal
up?
benefit.
What's up, Nana?
You have said
Yeah, she better leave that Rainbow Mafia alone. Nana gonna come get her.
but many are still hurt. For descendants of slaves, this is personal. What is your message to them?
So first of
he's
all,
got
that's
the
a
serious
hoax
mom
that was
on.
perpetrated by Kamala Harris. We are not going to be doing that. Second of all, that was written by descendants of slaves. These are great Black history scholars, so we need to stop playing these games. Here's the deal. Our country's education system is in decline because it's focused on indoctrination, denying parents' rights. Florida
Bring back
represents
home
the
ec.
revival of American education. We're ranked #1 in the nation in education by U.S. News and World Report. My wife and I, we have a 6'5" and 3-year-old. This is personal to us.
A
We didn't just
6'5",
talk about
3-year-old?
universal school choice.
You
We
gonna play
enacted
basketball for
universal
sure.
school choice. We didn't just talk about Parents' Bill of Rights. We enacted the Parents' Bill of Rights. We eliminated critical race theory, and we now have American civics
in the
Mom
Constitution,
DeSantis doesn't
in
even
our
know what
schools
critical
in a
race
really
theory
big way,
is.
just like President Reagan asked for in his farewell address back in 1989. Florida is showing how it's done. We're standing with parents, and our kids are benefiting.
Got that Prager University going on.
What's your message for Governor DeSantis?
There is not a redeeming quality.
Yeah, James. No, it's all about home ec, James. I took home ec.
Just taken
Damn right.
the one sentence out. America has suffered because of slavery, but we've overcome that. We are the greatest nation on earth because we faced our demons in the mirror and made a decision. So often we think that all the issues, you talked about crime and education and healthcare, we always think that those issues go back to slavery. Here's the challenge though. Black families survived slavery. We survived poll taxes and literacy tests. We survived discrimination being woven into the laws of our country.
Damn, Tim Scott, you're not making a very good point here, buddy.
Great society where they decided
He's like, all of this shit that y'all did to us, all of it that you fucked with us, we overcame all that. We still are. We're still doing it. And that's a good thing. Like, damn, dog.
And crime and devastation. If you want to restore hope, you've got to restore the family, restore capitalism, and put Americans.
Capitalism hasn't gone anywhere.
As one American family. Our nation continues.
We're still a capitalistic country.
It's why I can say I have been discriminated against. But
God damn it, Tim Scott.
A racist country. Never.
What the fuck does that mean?
We are the greatest country on God's
I've been discriminated against.
The city on the hill needs a brand new leader, and I'm asking for your vote.
I'm going to have a question for you.
That was his only chance. Tim Scott knew that's the last time he was going to get to talk.
1.7 million students in over 18,000 public schools nationwide have the ability to change their identity without parental notification. Governor Christie told Stewart last week that he would pass a federal law to protect parental rights. Would you try to do the same?
I have to be very clear about this. Transgenderism, especially in kids, is a mental health disorder. We have to acknowledge the truth of that for what it is. I met two young women early in this campaign.
On parental rights in school.
Parents have the right to know. And you know what? The hypocrisy of this is, even New
Vivek is
Hampshire
going
failed
full
to actually
Trump.
get past a piece of legislation here. The very people who say that this increases the risk of suicide are also the ones saying that parents don't have the right to know about that increased risk of suicide. And I'm sorry, it is not compassionate to affirm a kid's confusion. That is not compassion, that is cruelty. I met two young women, Chloe and Katie, early in this
none
campaign,
of this is happening.
who are in their 20s, now regret getting double mastectomies and a
It's
hysterectomy. One of them
literally
never had
like
children.
the number
And
of people
fact
that have said
we
that is
allowed
like
that to happen
the
in this
smallest
country is
percentage of people
barbaric. So
of all
I will
time.
ban genital mutilation or chemical castration under the age of 18, and parents have absolutely the right.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, go back to the question, bud.
Parents should have that right.
We are going to require states absolutely have to follow that through.
Governor
We
Burgum just to
stand
follow
for
up on
parental
this
rights.
because
Yes.
you in your state you do
Oh!
have a law.
You gotta
that
stop
says parents
panning
can't
to
be
him.
notified. But you want to be president. Would you try to pass a federal law to say parents have that right?
I think this is a state's issue, but I do want to say something, because all night long we've been talking about issues about how it's broken in Washington, and I respect all of the people on the stage.
And
here
nobody's
for their
going to
100+
enact any of
years
those laws.
Public service.
100%
Thank
they
you.
won't,
But the
because they
reason
need
why
the
we're not
transgender
talking
vote
about
too.
Education or health
It's not gonna happen.
or safety being a problem in North Dakota is because we have a business leader. I've got more experience as a business leader than I think this whole group combined. I know I've created more jobs than everybody else on stage, thousands of high-paying jobs that have real meaning. So as a business leader, you come in and you treat the taxpayer
Old
like
white
a
people
customer.
love that
So
shit.
in North Dakota,
Well, like
instead of
all
fighting
three of
with
them
the
that are
teachers'
there.
unions, we actually created a K-12 coordinating council. Everybody gets in the room, and the customer is
But
the
you
student.
do understand that this is an issue that many people in America really are concerned about, worried about parents and notification in schools.
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
why we have 50
Can we talk
platforms
about
of
that?
innovation. That's why we have states. There are certain things the federal government is supposed to do. It's not the Department of Education. That needs to be assembled. We got to move it back to states. Do what we did in North Dakota. Instead of like, oh, here's a choice
Holy
school and
shit,
here's
this
an
guy
old-
has
here's an old
ADHD.
school, the old way with the teachers union, the kids are trapped. We made every school in North Dakota an innovation school. Every school got out from under the red tape, and the things that help teach the values that we're trying to get, like 4-H, like FFA, like Boy Scouts.
How did we get on 4-H, Doug?
And by the way, North Dakota
Bring
is
back
at the
home ec.
top of the median SAT scores in the country right now.
Oh my God.
The Department of Homeland Security warns that violence against LGBTQ plus people
Exactly.
is on the rise and
Thank you, Naughty
intensifying.
Nana.
According to a recent study, members of that community are 9 times more likely to be victims of violent hate crimes. As president, how would you protect this community from violent attacks and discrimination?
Well, as President of the United States, I'll stand up for the safety and the civil liberties of every American, from every background.
Except for the gays.
And I want the American people to know that. But I want to answer the question
Oh
as well,
no,
Dana,
here
that
he
you just
goes
asked of
again.
Bert. Because by way of full disclosure, Chris, you mentioned the president's situation. My wife isn't a member of the teachers union, but I got to admit I've been sleeping with a teacher for 38 years. And so full disclosure. Look, education is a state
Wow,
and
that
local
was
function.
the Mike
The state of
Pence
Indiana
shouldn't
had
try
one of the
humor.
very first school
Just
choice
stay away from
programs in the
humor.
country.
Robots
And when
aren't
I was
good at
governor of
it.
the state of Indiana, we doubled it. And as to your question, Dana, let's be very, very clear. When the
I forgot the
community
question.
schools in Iowa had a policy where you had to have a permission slip from your parents to get a Tylenol, but you could get a gender transition plan without notifying your parents. I weighed in.
That is
with the
not
foundation.
true.
That's not bad policy.
That's not even
crazy.
true.
We're going to stand up for the rights of parents, and we're going to pass a federal ban on transgender chemical or surgical surgery anywhere in the country. We've got to protect our kids from this radical gender ideology agenda, and we've got
None
to
of this shit
empower
is
parents
happening.
at the state level with the ability to choose where their kids go to school, whether it's public, private, parochial, or homeschool. You empower parents, and our schools will straighten up and reflect our values and focus on the basics faster than you could possibly imagine.
Next subjects.
Dude, you can't even get a Vivek-sectomy without going and taking a 30-day sit down, think about your mental health. They offer you a psychologist to talk to or a therapist. Like, this isn't happening in the method that these people are making it out to be. Kids aren't going and getting surgeries without anybody knowing about it. That shit isn't happening.
Governor Desantis, you say companies like Google and Meta have too much
Yeah,
power.
read on. Somebody help him.
after them,
Somebody
give
send
China
the
an
robot
edge.
some jokes.
No, I think you look at how our societies develop. They have huge amount of power over our
Yeah,
society.
Jessica.
They've cracked down on free speech.
Nothing
I'm not saying
better
you don't
than
want to do business,
solving
but you
the
want it to be a
fear
free
of the
market. And
Republican
right now, they're
basis
monopolies.
by giving
But this issue of
plans for
China,
shit
I
that
think, is really
doesn't
gonna be fundamental.
exist.
We have subcontracted out so much of our national needs to the CCP. We rely on them for a whole host of issues.
Bringing
We
China
need to
back in.
reshore, and we need to decouple all those important industries. We need to get that back in the United States. They are
We're
our
already
top
doing that.
geopolitical adversary by a country
We're already
mile.
doing that.
Xi Jinping's got huge ambitions, not only in the Asia Pacific, but as you mentioned earlier, in our region. But ultimately, we've got to beat him on the economy.
I'm
And so
glad
that's
that
what we'll
Mom
do as president of
DeSantis
the United
is a
States.
Biden supporter.
Governor Christie,
Because
I
that's
wanna follow up
already
on this
everything that's
because
happening.
22% of American workers fear their jobs will be lost to a robot. And you said in the past that the free market is the way to go. Would you retrain workers who lose a job to artificial intelligence, and to do what?
Andrew
Well, look,
Yang.
what I think
Andrew
artificial intelligence
Yang.
offers us
Bring us that UBI.
is an extraordinary opportunity to expand well beyond the productivity that we have now, and to have Americans be able to be involved in that revolution, Dana. You know, each time we have shown incredible innovation and
Nana,
progress.
Mike
in this
Pence
country,
made that joke
what
because
we've
he
done
was
with
like,
it is
he's
to
like, I
expand
totally
all
sleep
kinds
with
of
women.
new, even
I totally
unthought of
sleep with women.
opportunities for folks.
She can tell
Yes,
you.
we have to do
Mother
more
can
training
tell
for
you.
folks
I've slept with her.
who lose some of their jobs, and we should be doing that. And we should have more training available both at the county college level and the local level for people to be able to access
Screw
it.
you,
So yes,
Redonk.
I would be
He
in
was
favor
my
of that.
boy.
But this is a much bigger
He
issue
was gonna
than
give
that.
me $1,000
We can't be
a month.
afraid of innovation. America has been the great innovator of this world over the last 250 years, a technological innovator, a manufacturing innovator, and a freedom and governmental innovator. And that's why America has to continue to stand strong in the world, pro-innovation, pro-progress. And
Still
I will tell you
are.
this, as President of the United States, what I will do is to make sure that every innovator in this country gets the government the hell off its back and out of its pocket so that it can innovate and bring great new inventions to our country that will make everybody's lives better.
Jessica, you said that they like to come up with solutions for problems that don't exist, but they also what they like to do is talk about the solutions they have for problems that have already been solved.
At a dinner with boxer and influencer Jake Paul. Should the commander-in-chief be so easily persuaded by an influencer?
So the answer is I have a radical idea for the Republican Party. We need to win elections. And part of how we
He's
win
like, I like TikTok.
is reaching the next generation of young Americans.
Yeah, he likes
where they
it.
are. So when I get into office, I've been very clear. Kids under the age of 16 should not be using addictive social media.
Dude, he's taking social media away from the kids, bro.
From China,
I don't let my kids use social media anyway, so I don't know. I guess I'm actually with him on this, but
rampant, reaching the next generation 3-1. There's exactly one person in the Republican Party which talks a big game about reaching young people, and that's me. And let me level with all of you. I'm the new guy here, and so
I have a funny name.
To earn your trust. What do you see?
You're not gonna earn my trust by doing this shit.
Maybe a little ambitious.
Come to me.
Bit of a know-it-all, it seems at times. I'm here to tell you, no, I don't know it all. I will listen. I will have the
I will
best
mostly
people,
learn
the best and
everything from
brightest in this
TikTok.
country, whatever age they are, advising me. We will be probably many of the people on this stage included. That's how I built my companies. I want to be challenged. I want people who disagree with me. That's what makes America great, because we're not a perfect nation. We're founded on the pursuit of perfection.
Get him, Tim Scott.
That is what makes America great.
Oh, it's Mike Pence.
That is why we will end it once we win this election.
I have to jump.
Wait.
I have to jump in here.
You're going to use TikTok and then end it?
There's one person on this.
This is infuriating because TikTok is one of the most dangerous social media apps that we could have. And what you've got, I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little
she's
bit
about to go
dumber for
mom.
what you
Oh,
say.
shit!
I can't believe they hear the TikTok situation. What they're doing is
Nikki Haley! Damn, son!
TikTok. That means they can get your contacts, they can get your financial information, they can get your emails, they can get text messages, they can get all of these things.
This is
China
very important
knows
for our
exactly
party.
what they're
This
doing.
is very important
and
for our
what
party,
we've
and I'm
seen
going to
is
say
you've gone and you've helped China make medicines in China, not America. You're now wanting kids to go and get on the
Nikki
social
Haley.
media that's dangerous for all.
Go in.
You went and you were in business
Go
with
in,
the Chinese
Nikki.
that gave Hunter Biden $5 million. We can't trust you. We can't trust you. We can't have TikTok and we need to ban it.
Damn. Nikki murdered him, dude. Oh.
Mr. Ramaswamy.
Thank you.
Someone call the
As a
police.
Republican Party, if we're not sitting here hurling personal insults and actually have a legitimate
He's like, stop talking shit to me.
Following Reagan's
Oh,
11th commandment
man.
and some honor. And the answer is that is what actually makes our
Damn.
country
That
strong.
might be the end. That might be the end of Vivek, boys.
People on the stage, they disagree, but let's have a legitimate disagreement. That's what I would say.
Stuart, can we get back to the question? The
No, we
question is
cannot.
on technology.
Governor DeSantis, I'm going straight.
Look at Ron. Look at him trying to smile.
Do that. I don't. So, Governor DeSantis, let me go to you. Experts say President Putin has ordered assassinations across Europe,
Holy
cheated
shit,
on
that
arms
was
control
crazy.
treaties with the U.S., and seeks to work with China to force our decline. President Reagan believed that if you want to prevent a war, you better be prepared to fight one. Today, the Republican Party is at odds over aid to Ukraine. The price tag so far is $76 billion. But is it in our best interest to degrade Russia's military for less than 5% of what we pay annually on defense, especially when there are no U.S. soldiers in the fight?
It's in our interest to end
Thank
this
you for
war,
being
and that's
honest.
what I will do as president. We are not going to have a
not
blank
in our
check.
best
We will
interest.
not have U.S. troops. And we're
There
gonna
is
make
no
the
U.S. troops
Europeans
over there.
do what they need to do. But they've sent money to pay bureaucrats' pensions and salaries and funding
I
small
do agree the
businesses
Europeans
halfway
need to
around
do
the world.
more.
Meanwhile, our own country is being invaded. We don't even have
What?
control of our own territory. We have
Oh,
got
Jesus
to defend the
Christ.
American people before
Ah,
we even
pudding
worry
fingers.
about all these other things. And I watch these guys in Washington, D.C., and they don't care
In Washington,
about the
D.C.,
American
and
people.
they don't care
about the fentanyl deaths. They don't care about the communities being overrun because of this border. They don't care about the Mexican drug cartel.
I care.
So as Commander-in-Chief, I will defend this country's sovereignty.
But it's not a territorial dispute. It's never been a territorial dispute.
And 90% of the resources that we send over to Ukraine is guaranteed as a loan. It is not 90% of the money that we send over there is loan. Well, we can talk about this, but at the end of the day,
oh shit, did Tim Scott just defend
that we
Biden?
send over there is actually in the form of a loan. It's not actually not be paid by Ukraine, it's paid by the NATO, our NATO allies.
So I think it's
oh shit, Tim Scott's educating me.
I will say, let's debate the fact that our national vital interest is in degrading the Russian military.
Is Tim Scott trying to get in the Democrat?
Military,
is he trying to move over?
Safer, we keep our troops at home, and we all understand Article 5
The troops aren't going over.
We have to level with the American people.
I thought you said something about waiting until your turn to talk. So hold on. So at
oh,
the end of the day,
even Tim Scott's going to
go ahead and I'll respond.
I'll look forward to this one right now. So at the end of the day, when you think about the fact that if you want to keep American troops at home,
yeah,
attack on NATO territory would bring us and our troops in.
He's
By
right.
degrading the Russian military.
Tim!
We reduce,
eliminate. Hell yeah, Tim!
On NATO territory.
What up, DJ?
Level with the American people. We have to level with the American people on
Holy
this
shit!
issue.
Nikki Haley and Tim Scott both got me for one. I'm feeling good right now.
Does not mean that Ukraine is good. This is a country that has banned 11 opposition parties.
No one said that shit.
That is not true. We're driving Russia.
Is a win for China. Good job, Nikki.
You'll have your chance in just a moment. The hurling personal insults isn't helping. China is the real
enemy.
Oh,
it's
and
actually helping.
Russia further into China's arms. We need a reasonable peace plan to end this. Especially, this is a country.
What would that peace plan be?
Vivek, if you let Putin have Ukraine, that's a green light to China to take Taiwan.
Oh, Mike Pence! Holy shit! They're all going in on him.
Governor Christie.
Damn, Christie hasn't even gotten his chance yet.
Have brought China, Russia, and Iran closer together. Are we focused too much on Ukraine and not enough on this threat from the New World Order?
No, they're all connected, Stuart. They're all connected.
that was kind of scary.
The Chinese are paying for the Russian war in Ukraine.
Yeah,
the
you know
Iranians
that.
are supplying more sophisticated weapons,
Yeah.
and so are the North Koreans now as well, with the encouragement of the Chinese. The naivete on this stage from some of these folks is extraordinary. Look, I understand people want to go and talk to Putin. Guess what? So did George W. Bush.
Yep.
So did Barack Obama.
Yep.
So did Donald Trump. And so did Joe Biden when he said a small invasion wouldn't be so bad. Every one of them has been wrong. And the fact of the matter is, we need to say right now that the Chinese-Russian alliance is something we have to fight against, and we are not going to solve it by going over and cuddling up to Vladimir Putin.
Dude, I think so, Naughty
Look,
Nana.
Donald
I
Trump
think this might be
said
it for dude. He
Vladimir
got
Putin
roasted.
was brilliant and a great leader. This is the person who is murdering people in his own country, and now not having enough blood, he's now going to Ukraine to murder innocent civilians and kidnap 20,000 children. And let me tell you, if you think that's where it's going to stop, if we give him any of Ukraine, next will be Poland. This is a guy who said, wait
My
one
boy
second, this is a
Sharon.
guy in 1991 who said that was the darkest moment in world history when the Soviet Union fell. Listen, everybody, he wants to put the old band back together, and only America can stop it. And when I'm president, we will.
Governor Burgum, I want to get to Governor Burgum. He hasn't had a chance. I have a
That's a
question
good
I think you're
answer.
going to
They're
really
starting to fire up now.
Or at least you
They're
have
starting to get it
experience
going.
in it. And we need to talk about America's farmers because there is a foreign policy connection here. The U.S. and China are in this fierce economic competition. It's hurting American businesses.
Oh, this guy's scared. He's like,
And
fuck,
there
I
is
don't know how to
blowback
follow up all
against
this other
American
stuff.
farmers because China then targets them in retaliation. How would you, as president, protect American farmers and ranchers from that kind of retaliation from a foreign government like China?
Well, first of all, we've got the best farmers and ranchers in the world right here in America. If they have a level playing field, they can outcompete anyone in the world. But this is part of the larger issue that we're talking about here, which is we're in a Cold War with China. The Biden administration won't admit that. But we're also in an economic war through what we're doing with agriculture and energy. And we're also in a war with them relative to cyber war. We get attacked every day in North Dakota, every state, every school district. Our
Okay,
tribes,
no one's
all being attacked
attacking
every
North
day by either
Dakota
China,
with
Russia,
viruses.
Iran, or North Korea. And now we've got a Biden administration whose whole policy is appeasement. They're out there,
That's
creating
not
a world
true.
making less safe.
That's
$6
not
billion
true.
they traded for 5
Dude.
people. They've just now set a price on anyone's head who's a tourist from America, who's a student from America, for kidnapping. If you want more kidnapping, put a price on it. And then they're also helping Iran get to have more closer
Dollars?
to nuclear weapon, which pushes all of the
More
Middle East closer to China and Russia.
Fuck, the
whole thing is
reading
absurd.
comprehension in
And
North
then, of course,
Dakota's
we're
got to
gonna
be
give
horrid.
Ukraine to Russia, and then we're going to give Taiwan to China, and think that's a foreign policy. That will make our nation less successful, make us more poor, and at the core of all that is energy policy, because China imports 10 million
Dude,
barrels
someone's
of
gotta
oil a
keep
day.
him on
They're
subject.
the largest import in the world, and we've had 4 cabinet members from the Biden administration there this summer, and none of them talked about U.S. energy. The first one to go to each of those
I
countries
know
was
he only
Kerry
gets like
to talk
5
about the
seconds,
folly of the
and he's trying to get it all in there, but it's just
policy,
making
which is
him
making
seem
the
like
world
he's
less stable. It's
spazzy,
empowering
like he's just
dictators. It's not about
ADHDing
climate
all over
change
the
that we need
place.
worried about. It's about the Biden climate policies that are actually the existential
Holy
threat
fuck, where did
to
we
America's
even
future.
start? How did we get to the end?
Mexico's president called who supports
Holy shit.
sending U.S. military
South
into
Dakota?
the
Sorry,
country.
James. Sorry, everybody in North Dakota.
Global scoundrels. Mexico is the United States' most important trade partner and border security. You say you will send special operations to attack the cartels in Mexico. So, this means
Dude, I want to
boots on the
see that,
ground,
actually.
drone strikes.
It means special operations. It's how we deal with our terrorists. And what you need to do is
Oh, she's sending in
understand
SEAL
that
Team
Mexico's
6.
not being a good partner if we lost 75,000 Americans last year. Mexico's not being a good partner
Is that true?
if they're letting the cartels get away with what they're getting away with. What we will do is we will make sure that we send in our special operations, and we will take out the cartels, we'll take out their operations, we'll take out anything that's doing it. But we're going to go after China, because China is the one sending the fentanyl in the first place. And we will end all normal trade relations until China stops sending fentanyl.
I don't know if that's gonna work,
And then we'll do
but
the
sure.
special operations, and we'll get it from both
Not
sides.
unless we, like,
This
set
is
up
where
a
President
partnership
Trump
with
went wrong.
India.
He focused on trade with China. He didn't focus on the fact that they were buying up our farmland. He didn't focus on the fact that they were killing Americans. He didn't focus on the fact that they were stealing $600 billion in intellectual property. He didn't
That's
focus
true.
on the fact that they put a spy base off our shores in Cuba. They didn't focus enough on the fact
Well,
that
Donald
all
Trump
of our
had
law
no idea
enforcement
any of that was
drones in
going on,
America
dude.
are Chinese, and we've got all these little surveillance cells. We need to start focusing
That
on
might
what
be a
keeps
conspiracy
Americans
theory.
safe. That hasn't happened in a long time. As your president, I will make sure every American is safe, and we'll do whatever it takes to make
Damn,
that happen.
Nikki. Nikki is going okay. Going a little hard, but some of that shit seems a little shaky.
You're all auditioning for the job as president of the United States. You want to earn these votes. But the world's problems land in the Oval Office. During the presidential debates,
I want
in
to
the
see
year
SEAL Team 6
2000,
going. I mean, that's a
neither
good
Al Gore
movie.
nor
All right.
George W. Bush was
Taking
asked
down the
about
Mexican
Al-Qaeda.
mafia.
Yet, just 1 year later, al-Qaeda's attack on September 11th claimed nearly 3,000 lives. And the farther we get from September 11th, the closer
Oh,
we
never
are
forget.
to September 10th. Senator Scott, you have no executive branch experience. What has prepared you to protect the nation from a major man-made national security crisis?
Well, one of the things I've had the good fortune of doing is serving on committees in the United States Senate, like the Senate Armed Services Committee. I'm on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, also on the Finance Committee and the Banking Committee. Talk about addressing the issue of fentanyl. I've written the legislation, passed it through the Banking Committee and the Senate that would freeze the assets and sanction the accounts of the Mexican cartels. There are weapons that we have within the arsenal that I was able to get past 23
That's not
going
gonna
to
do any good, Tim Scott.
polarizing Senate as it is. I've also understood without question the fact that if you look at the details before 9/11, there was information and intelligence
Never
that
forget.
was available that suggested an attack was coming. Having the right intelligence partners with us is key to making sure that we prevent the next 9/11 from ever happening.
Dude, no,
Having
we
that
literally
experience
knew
of the
that shit was
last
gonna
10
happen and we
years
didn't stop
is
it.
really important in
This
getting
is
the
what
job
America does.
30 seconds to you, Mr. Pence.
Well, I think you asked a question about executive experience. I think it's vitally important.
What is up with Vivek's hair?
And I stand before you today as a candidate for president because I think this country's in a lot of trouble. You hear
Fear.
the fire on the stage tonight. You
Fear.
hear the fire in all of our voices.
Bring that
It's 'cause
fear,
Joe
Mike
Biden's
Pence.
weak in
Let's
this
get the
country, at
Handmaid's
home
Tale going.
and abroad. This is a time for those of us that have the experience
to start
the
breeding
tested experience
with the women.
and a commitment to the conservative agenda that Ronald Reagan brought forward in this party.
Take away
The
no
strong
fault
national
divorce.
defense, standing with our allies, standing up
Make
to our
them bear our
enemies,
children.
supporting limited government and traditional values need to step forward.
Understood.
Because frankly, our party does face a time for choosing, as they said at
Make
the top
the
of this
women wear the
debate, whether
burqas.
we're going to stand on the foundation of that conservative agenda that Ronald Reagan poured, or whether we're going to follow the siren song of populism unmoored to conservative principles. I'm
the
the
thinly
most
veiled
experienced, most
Trump
qualified,
insult.
and most consistent conservative in this field, and I'm ready to lead America at home and abroad on day one.
Time for choosing to go to a break. Ilya.
We need to go to a commercial break. Reagan built a coalition that lasted.
All right, let's watch some more stuff about gold coins.
Candidates do the same?
Gold
We'll
coins.
take that up when the debate continues.
All right, what do you guys think about the moderators? What do you guys think about the moderators? So far, I like the moderators. I think the moderators are they're asking some tough questions. They're trying to make the people have to like go back. They're calling them out when they're not answering the questions. Yeah, DJ, no, DJ, you don't even need that first part. Just the second part. They're never voting for a black man. I kind of felt like for a second there, Tim Scott was like kind of making inroads into joining the Democratic Party when he started like kind of giving off those good points. I thought he was like maybe going for it. Yeah, paranoia will destroy you. Yep. Mike Pence just wants everybody to be scared, so that way he can start doing the things he likes to do behind the scenes with Mother. Someone tells me Mike Pence has a lot of gold. Does it continue for the whole hour? There's... how far in are we? We're 7:30, so we got 30 more minutes. I think it's 2 hours total, Redunk. Biden claims he was a professor at the University of Pennsylvania and taught political theory. Yeah, I know. The answer is 0. Oh, we're gonna do the counter on Biden's vacation days. Oh, yeah, because he definitely took more vacations than Donald Trump. Sure. Good God, what is with this channel? This is a weird channel. Anyways, yeah, way better than the first, Fatty. Like, I agree with that, 100%. I think that these people are definitely trying to put a little bit of space between each other, and it seems like they all got together before the debate and were like, okay, so are you gonna tear Tyvek a new asshole or should I? And they're like, well, I'm going to. Yeah, well, I'm going to too. Yep, Jessica, it is Rumble. Rumble is it's a strange world over here. Oh, and while we're on break, guys, because I can't stream on Rumble, I don't know why I want to stream on Rumble, but just in case I ever get banned from YouTube for streaming a Republican primary that came on Rumble, maybe they don't like that, I don't know. Or maybe because I have fucking Kevin Sorbo. I think Kevin Sorbo might be banned from YouTube. I might be like getting in trouble just for showing this dude. Go to Rumble, go to Kick, go to Twitch. Please, I'm begging you, do the Soulless Ginger a favor and follow me on those 3 platforms so that way I can make sure that I have backup places where you guys can come and find me if I ever do get my ass banned again, because that has happened to me once before for making fun of the QAnon, and all the QAnon snowflakes got me banned. Because, you know, they don't like people calling them out for all the bullshit. So, if you guys could follow me on those, just so we can keep in touch, because I love you lovely people and don't want you guys to ever go away. So, I can get a hold of Redunk. I can't get a hold of the rest of you. So, if you could, please go and subscribe to my my Twitch, my Kick, my Rumble, whichever you'd like, or subscribe to all of them. As always, you guys can join the Ginger Army for the low, low price of 10 cents a day and become a really super cool kid like Redonk and Bucket and Uncle Fatty. I think that this has been way better. I think this has been way better than the first one. I think that Vivek kind of caught him off guard with that first one. I didn't know what he was going to do. But I think Vivek caught him off guard the first time, and this time they're not taking that bullshit. Nikki Haley, I know I'm biased because I said I liked her at the beginning, or I thought that she was the one that was most likely to come out of this ahead of everybody but maybe Trump. I'm going to say that Nikki Haley feels like she's doing the best job so far in this debate. That's what I'm going with. And that is a whole ass plane. That's some straight up Republican stuff right there. We got plane. Oh.
So let's dive right back in. We're here in California, where gas is nearing $6 a gallon. Oil is close to $100 a barrel again. You say, drill, baby, drill. But the courts won't let you. Mr. Ramaswamy, how would you bring down prices without immediate drilling?
Well, look, I think that we do have to run through the courts and get through that administrative state to make sure we're using the natural resources here at home. But here's the other thing that we can do that's easy.
It would take forever, Mr. Ramaswamy.
And it addresses the national debt as well as brings down prices. Put people back to work. We are using taxpayer money to pay people more to stay at home than to go to work. That is wrong.
So
that
low?
contributes to our
Once
supply
again, that's
chain
not
crisis.
happening.
It contributes to inflation.
That's
the
not
easiest way to
happening.
Unlock this economy. And here's the other thing.
That was
We have to
happening
put
during
the Federal
COVID.
Reserve back in its place. This is an agency that has gone rogue.
The
So in
Federal Reserve has
January
never been put in its
2026,
place.
When I have the opportunity as their next commander-in-chief, we will have a new chairman of the Federal Reserve who places
Who will do
priority
the
on
same
dollar
shit to
stability,
you
and then most
that
importantly,
Janet Yellen is doing to
send back
Biden.
75% of the administrative state, reduce the federal employee headcount by 75%, rescind 50% of unconstitutional federal regulations that are shackling businesses both large
Bad
and
idea.
small.
Donald
I've
Trump
offered a very
already showed
clear,
why it's a bad
practical
idea.
plan to do it. That's how we unleash the economy. That's how we revive
Donald
the
Trump Jr.
integrity of
here
the
is looking to
three-branch
just cause a couple more
constitutional
fucking
republic,
derailing of
rather than
trains.
this technocracy and aristocracy
President
in the
Pence, your
administrative state.
response, please.
I think one of the
He's a
signature
moron.
accomplishments of our administration was in just a few short years, we achieved energy independence. We became a net exporter of energy for the first time in 75
That's actually true.
years.
That's actually true.
But on day one, Joe Biden declared a war on energy, which was no surprise because when Joe Biden ran for president, he said he was going to end fossil fuels.
Yeah, he's
We've been
actually
working
doing what he said he was
overtime
going to do.
that ever
Imagine
since.
that.
If I'm president of the United States, we're going to open up federal lands. We're going to unleash American energy.
No, we're not going. Do not do that.
Strategy.
We don't
And I
need to
have a
destroy
plan
our
actually
entire
not only
country
reclaim energy independence,
to make gas
but in
prices go down.
2006,
I want
America
gas
lost
prices
our
go down
position
too.
as the leading
But let's not destroy
energy
our
producer
entire
on
environment
Earth.
to
I
make it
believe
happen.
In the next 10 years, with the right policies and experienced leadership in the White House, we can reclaim our role as the leading energy producer on Earth, and that'll grow the American economy for generations to come.
Dude, the fucking economy has grown for the last 70 years.
An energy state, could I answer the energy question?
No, Governor Haley.
So, you know, the first thing I'll say is what I saw at the United
Damn, they
Nations
laughed at
is
him.
energy security is national security. We need a president that understands we have to partner
That's
with
the
our
idea of
producers
green
and make sure
energy.
that
The
we
green
have their
energy
backs.
is the way
What
that
you
you're
don't need
going
is
to
a
become.
president who is against energy independence. Ron DeSantis is against fracking. He's against drilling. He's been against.
That's the
He always
weirdest
talks about
laugh.
what happens on day one.
Oh.
You better watch out because what happens on day two is when you're in trouble. Day two in Florida, you banned
Exactly,
fracking,
DJ.
you banned
Exactly.
offshore drilling, you did it on federal lands, and you
Look
took
at his
green
ass.
subsidies that you
Look
didn't
at
have
him.
to take.
Governor DeSantis, you
It
were
is so
right to respond.
strange.
30 seconds.
Yeah. I just did a plan out in West Texas for American energy dominance. We're going to choose Midland over Moscow. We're going to choose the Marcellus over the Mullahs, and we're going to choose Bakken over Beijing.
Dude,
and
we
are gonna
pick
lower your
letters
gas
that
prices.
match
We are
each
gonna get
other
that job done
so the
because it's
idiots
important
can
for our national
understand.
security, it's important for jobs, and that's one of the
Oh my
best
God.
ways to drive down inflation.
No.
Governor DeSantis.
No.
So listen, the only answer to that because this is
Governor
ridiculous.
DeSantis, this
The
question
state
is
of
for
Florida,
you.
Our voters enacted a constitutional
You
amendment
banned it before
that
they
doesn't
voted.
allow. No, it's not true.
You banned it before they voted, and
Nikki,
not only that,
you're not.
fracking
You're not.
wasn't.
You're,
They didn't vote
she's
on
just totally
fracking.
wrong. They voted it in.
it.
That's
Check
what we
it.
did. Onshore, we do it in Florida. Yeah, we don't have as much
Do
as
do
maybe
it?
West Texas, but we do it. But that was a constitutional. So that's
Oh
just wrong.
my
and
God.
Let's just get real here. My plan will get the job done.
You
We are
banned
going to
it
be
before
energy
the
dominant,
voters
and that's
even
what's going to
voted,
happen.
and the voters didn't even vote on fracking, and you banned
We are
fracking.
moving on with this question for Governor DeSantis.
Oh,
Governor,
The only leader of an
excuse me.
energy
We
Oh, look at
cannot
him get-
talk
listen-
over
listen
each
to him.
other. We must respect each other's time. My apologies for that.
I'm ready, Stuart.
Governor
Let's do it.
DeSantis, this is your question. The Biden administration is hell-bent on
so
student
awkward.
loan forgiveness, but you say colleges should be on the hook when graduates cannot pay their debt. How does that address the cost of college? The cost of college itself?
Because the colleges are going to have to make a decision. Do we expand the gender studies department, knowing some of those graduates may not have great learning opportunities? No, they're going to focus on the things that really
he went
matter.
full mom.
They're going to make different choices. They're going to try to graduate people in 4 years. I also just want to come back to something Dana asked last segment about 9/11,
I'd like to get
because I
away
was
from
just
that
at
and talk
the
about something
9/11
else.
Memorial with the families my wife and I were invited. It's very touching to be there, and it affected my life because I ended up joining the military as a result of that. I've been a blue-collar kid, minimum wage.
Oh, he got him! He got the cheers!
Yale and Harvard Law School, and somehow came out more conservative than when I went in, and that is not easy to do. Had a lot of opportunities to make money, but I wanted to serve, and I'll never forget coming back on the plane from Iraq, landing in Coronado, California, North Island, and feeling that breeze off the Pacific Ocean and say, you know what? I am lucky to have been born an American, and I think being able to serve, and I'll be the first president elected since 1988 who's actually served overseas in a war, I think that's going to help me as commander-in-chief to know how you see these issues and understand that there are real lives at stake for people that wear the uniform.
And we know that Governor Haley's
Damn it, they need to focus on his
as well, and we
face.
thank him for that. Senator Scott,
They need
the
to
national
focus
debt
on
has
his
nearly
face
doubled
after
in
he
your
gets
time
done
in office.
talking. That's
the
the
approval
best.
rate for Congress is at a mere 19%. If this were a business, you'd probably all be fired in Washington, but you're here tonight looking for a promotion.
Oh, shit.
In 2013, Governor Haley hired you for the Senate. I'd
Oh,
like
I
you
live
to
in
tell her
Washington.
why you should be promoted to CEO of the nation instead of her.
Certainly. One of the things I'd say is if you look at our national debt of $33 trillion, I would love to have an opportunity to have this country pass a balanced budget amendment. That would constrain the spending in Washington.
How are
in
you
the
going to
same
balance a
fashion that it
$33
does
trillion
in every
budget?
state
Oh,
in our nation, number one. Number two,
How,
if you want
though?
to actually
How?
reduce our national debt,
How?
you have to grow our economy. In order to grow our economy, you need to create about 10 million jobs to grow our economy at 5%. You can do that in 3 specific sectors. Number one, the energy sector.
He's
We
answering.
could create between 3 and 3.5 million jobs if we unleashed all of our energy resources. America is we're the richest country if you combine coal, gas, and oil. Why not unleash all of our resources? Number
Because
two,
it's
we've lost
not the
100,000
future.
factories.
You're just
100,000
going to put us
factories in the
further
last 25 years.
behind.
If we continued on my Made in America plan, we could bring jobs back to America in a
Why are
similar
people
fashion
so
that we did
obsessed with
when I
coal
wrote the
and
Tax
fossil
Cuts and
fuel?
Jobs Act. We actually lowered the corporate tax from 35% to 21%, reshored or repatriated $1.7 trillion. We brought the unemployment rates for African Americans, Hispanics, and Asians to the lowest level in the history of the country. And a 70-year
He almost
low for
answered the
women.
question. He actually was making his way down
You
it.
think you would
Well,
deserve the
first of all,
promotion over
I think,
him?
look,
And then he
I-
just-
I appreciate Tim. We've
Yeah.
known each other a long time, but he's been there 12 years and he hasn't done any of that. He hasn't. They've only given 4 budgets on time in 40 years. He was part of that.
Damn.
The national
Nikki came prepared tonight.
He has made sure that the borders are open and they haven't done anything. Look at everything that's happened. 12 years. Where have you been? Where
I
have
voted
you
no
been,
on all.
Tim?
I voted on
12
most of
years.
those things.
We've
I have
waited and
voted most.
nothing has happened.
Here's what you've
12
done.
years.
Here's the thing that I
12
just find
Damn, Tim's getting fucked up.
Let me finish
All
this
these guys have said
Here's the
things,
fact.
and I appreciate a lot of the things they're saying.
Nikki
I'm the
Haley.
only
Oh,
one
he's
here
such
who's
a
gotten
mom.
in the big fights
He's such
and
a
has delivered
mom.
Big victories for the people. of
And I
Florida.
appreciate
And that's what
them
it's
for the
all
things
about.
they've done.
You can always talk, but when it gets hot in there, when they're shooting arrows at you, are you going to be stand up for parents' rights, to keep the state free? Are you going to be able to do all those things? And in the state of Florida, because of our success, the Democratic Party lies in ruins. We have won the big fights.
That's
We
not
have
even
turned
true.
our state
Didn't
into
he
a
just
Republican
barely
state.
win?
People respond
I mean,
to
I think he won
leadership.
pretty good last
I've
time, but
done
didn't he?
it while others have
His
talked
first
about
time he
it.
got elected, didn't he barely win? Dude, they need to look at his face after he gets done talking. God, his face is a.
Zero-based budgeting. That's the way businesses are actually run. Start with 0 as the baseline for the budget, and then see what's actually necessary. There isn't a blue state or a red state.
Dude,
in
I'm
this
not gonna
union
lie.
that does it. The
I
federal
want to.
government
I kind
doesn't
of
do
want to
it.
see
But
what the
successful
country's gonna look like if
companies, including the ones that I've
Vivek
built
did all of
as a
this shit.
CEO,
I don't want to be in the country. I want to be in like New Zealand or something like that. I'll watch it from the outside. I'm not interested. But he's got a very intense budget plan.
Anything, but I'm just going to say right now, when you say nobody else has done it, The energy plans that have all been announced in the last month by these other folks on stage, we're already doing it in North Dakota. The border plans they're already talking about, we've got troops down at the border flying helicopter missions from North Dakota, from San Diego to the Gulf Coast, trying to stop transnational criminal organizations from inflicting the invasion and the mass casualties in our state. And on the energy policy,
at least he admitted that it's up and down the coast.
Nobody else done the big fights. North Dakota was leading the charge. We won the battle to get the Biden administration, who was ignoring the law. They were the first administration since Truman that wasn't holding the quarterly required lease sales, and we won that in federal court. WOTUS, we won that in federal court. We're fighting the Biden administration.
Dude, he's got like
on
2
20
people there.
fronts. To say that nobody's fighting the big fights, just look at the record of what we're doing right now. Energy,
I just
economy,
don't know where
national
he's
security have been talking about it since day one, and now finally good, we're having the conversation about it, but we've got the answer in North Dakota.
Governor Burgum, let's talk big government.
I don't know what the question was.
Big government keeps getting bigger. 1/5 of all new jobs this year have been created by the government. Governor Burgum, you say you want to shrink the size of
Exactly,
government.
Nana.
But it has been a
Exactly.
century
He looks like a
since any
weird-ass
president has
puppet,
done
doesn't
that.
he?
Why would you be any different?
Well, because we've done it in North Dakota. When I took office, we shrunk the state budget general fund by 27% in the first 4 months I was office, and
then what happened after that, bud?
Time. Why? Because you had a business leader that was actually there. Inside of every government job, there's 10 or 20% of mind-numbing, soul-sucking work that even the state and federal employees don't want to do, and you can engineer that work out of the job. That would free up right there 20% of 2 million civilian employees. And by the way, we've got 10 million jobs open. They'd have plenty to do, and they could be generating taxes instead of being paid by taxes. This is totally possible to do it
That's
if you
not
have
bad.
somebody that understands.
That's the first time he
Having
made
worked
an
in
actual
technology
point
for
that
30
was
years,
coherent.
Everything we had to do was to be better, faster, and cheaper the next day. That's what we can do in government. That's what we're doing in North Dakota.
I think he's coherent on that one because he's a business dude.
I want to ask you about something that I think is on a lot of Republicans' minds. This election could come down to less than 50,000 votes.
Yep, he's in Yangtze. Exactly.
Abortion was on the ballot in 6 states in 2022. Republicans lost all of them.
Look at it.
Next year,
Jesus
abortion
Christ.
will likely be on the ballot in Arizona. That is a must-win state. Governor DeSantis, how are you going to win over independent, pro-choice voters in Arizona?
Oh, he's not.
Same way we did in Florida. We
He's
won the
not.
greatest Republican victory in a governor's race in the history of the state, over 1.5 million votes. We were winning places like Miami-Dade County, Palm Beach, that nobody thought was possible because we were leading with purpose and conviction. I reject this idea that pro-lifers are to blame for midterm defeats. I think there's other reasons for that. The former president, he's missing in action tonight. He's had a lot to say.
Oh, here we
about
go.
that.
We're back.
He should be here explaining his comments to try to say that pro-life protections are somehow a terrible thing. I want him to look into the eyes and tell people who've been fighting this fight for a long time. I was at, my wife and I earlier today were at the gravesite of President and Mrs. Reagan.
Dude,
and
he
I
has to look
noticed
down to
that,
find
there was
the
a quote
fucking
where it
story,
says,
dude.
Every single person has purpose and worth. We're better off when everybody counts. And I think we should stand for what we believe in.
I don't think that means
I think we
what
should
Ron
hold the
DeSantis thinks
Democrats
it does.
accountable for their extremism, supporting abortion all the way up until the moment
That's
of
not
birth.
how you're
That
going to
is
get independence,
infanticide,
buddy.
and that is wrong.
That's not how you're going to get independents that are pro-choice, buddy. Holy shit.
Okay, Governor Christie, do you think that Republicans
God, he's
can
so
do
bad.
that in Arizona if this referendum is on the ballot there?
It's obviously fake family.
Dana. It's
Then why are all these other states losing?
well, because they don't have leaders in those states who are leading the fight the way it should be led. And in fact is, look, I was a governor here of the only blue state that's represented up here. This is where the fight is really tough for Republicans, and those are the states that we're going to have to try to win if we're going to win the White House back. And what we did was 14 times, Dana, in 8 years, I vetoed Planned Parenthood funding. 14 times. No one else gets it that much. The Democrats just kept sending it to me, and I kept saying no because I
That's
believe
not going to
in
get
life,
independent,
but I also believe in
independent
states'
voters
rights.
either, buddy.
And I think we fought hard against
It's not
Roe
gonna
versus
work
Wade
either.
for decades to say that states should make these decisions. So we're going to have those fights in the states. But what you need is a leader who can talk to people and make them understand that if you're pro-life, you have to be pro-life for the entire life. Not just the 9 months in the womb.
There you go,
And we've
buddy.
talked a lot about fentanyl
He brought
tonight,
it back.
and we haven't spoken one moment about treatment. But we need to make sure that for the drug-addicted 16-year-old on the floor of the county lockup, her life is precious too. And
Damn,
we
he
need to
brought
be
Florida
providing
into it.
treatment to cure this as a disease that it is. If you're pro-life, you got to be pro-life for the entire life. We start talking like that, they're going to do what I did in the blue state, which was get reelected with 61% of the vote and won 70% of independents and 51% of Latinos because I told them the truth from my heart.
Thank you.
Aw. Damn, he brought that back. He brought that back.
Of Latino voters
I thought he was screwing up, but he brought it back.
is being hostile toward them, the Hispanic community. Only Governor Desantis has translated his campaign into Spanish. How will you reach out to Latino voters?
Yeah, most of the people not a big fan
I
of
promise you that
DeSantis
we're
right
going
now,
to
though.
continue to build bridges to every community in this country. And I'm incredibly proud of that tax cut and tax reform bill. I worked on Capitol Hill to help get that bill passed into law, the largest tax cut in American history. We saw literally the lowest unemployment ever recorded for Hispanic Americans, the lowest unemployment ever recorded for African Americans, 50-year low for women. So I think the President of the United States needs to be a champion for the American dream for every American.
Oh, shit.
It begins with the unborn and the aged and the infirm. And it begins with
The
every
Asians?
ethnic group in this country. And I promise you, if I'm President of the United States,
Why do you put the Asians
I'll
in
be
there?
a champion. I'll be a champion for the American dream, for Hispanic Americans, and for every American. So help me God.
Senator Scott, reaction?
Yes, there's no doubt that if you lead by example, it's the best way to get the job done. If you look at my office in the Senate, my chief of staff is the only Hispanic female chief of staff in the Senate. I hired her because she was the best, highest qualified
That's not a
person
good
we
thing.
have.
I mean, it's a
What
good
we
thing
need
he's
are
got her,
leaders
but
who lead by example. And I will simply say, I would love to finish my conversation with Nikki as it relates to the job that needs to get done.
here we go.
Nikki offered a 10-cent gas tax increase in South Carolina. Talk about someone who has never seen a federal dollar she doesn't like. 10 cents on the gallon in South
that was
Carolina.
pretty good.
As the UN ambassador, you literally put $50,000 on curtains.
Oh, Nikki's
in a
ready to
$15
go.
million subsidized location. Next.
You got bad information. First of all, I fought the gas tax in South Carolina multiple times against the establishment.
Just go to YouTube.
Against the establishment.
Just go to
and
YouTube
you want
and
to know
see
what
for
that
yourself.
He said, do your own research.
The establishment, the companies wanted me to do it so much that I said the only way I will
Here's
pass
what you
it
have to
if
do.
you will give us
All you have to do is go
if you will
watch
give-
Nikki Haley on YouTube.
If you will give me 3 times the deduction in income tax, then I will look at your gas
So you
tax,
said
which
yes,
is why it didn't
you would
happen.
pass.
Secondly,
Exactly, Ron.
secondly, on the 50 million.
Here is a nice part.
Secondly, on the curtains, do your
Yes.
homework, Tim, because Obama bought those curtains.
Did you
and
send them back?
It's in the press.
Did you send them back?
It's the State Department.
Did you send them back?
you send them back? You're the one that works in Congress.
Oh my gosh.
You get it
You
done.
hung them on your curtains.
They were there before I even showed up at the residence. You are scrapping. You are scrapping.
Yeah, she's right though. She's right though. Like, the curtains are there. Like, what do you want her to go through the house and like find all this shit and send it back? Ah.
We do not intend to go ahead like this. In fact, we're about to take a commercial break.
They all want to talk about the curtains. Look at that crowd.
Live from the Reagan
Look at that
presidential
crowd. That crowd is
in
not
just
as
a few
excited.
moments.
Dude. They do some. Woo! Woo!
Do you trust our...
God, why is it the same commercials over and over again? Oh, man. It's got to end soon because I can't take 2 hours of Republican talk is a little rough. Oh, fuck. I need to, I got to start drinking on these days. Oh, I don't know if I can get through these kind of things without some tequila. Tim has never seen an imaginary girlfriend he never liked. Dude, Nikki is, she's fighting hard, dude. I got to agree with her. How are you going to get mad at somebody for having, shower curtains that she does, she moved into a place there? I don't know where, Obama could have bought my shower curtains too. I don't know. I'm not sending them back, tell you that much. Tim Scott with the do your own research. That's pretty, I don't know. That's kind of sad, dog. You're going to tell somebody to go look up a YouTube video while you're on the presidential debate stage? Come on, big guy. You got to have more than that. He was actually doing a little better this time than he did last time. But I'm gonna take him down one for that. That was that was some like YouTube fucking debatosphere bullshit right there. Look up the video. You got a glass of tequila right now, DJ? Damn it, man. Damn it. Yeah, you know, I just I think so far Vivek's now at this point, Vivek's kind of pointing over at like Tim Scott when Tim Scott's making points, like going like, yeah, there you go. See, there you go. He's the one. He got that point for me. He got that point. I think Vivek, this might be his last go. This might be it for Vivek. This might also be it for Doug. Doug of North Dakota. He might be done. He finally made one good point in that last try. I like that they have a commercial about how many times Biden lied. When didn't fucking Donald Trump lie like 30,000 times or something like that? I'm not even kidding, dude. Like, I think he lied like 30,000 times. Like, that's a weird flex. That's a weird flex. Yeah. Doug's got ADHD. I get what he's doing because he only has like 3 minutes to get in every single talking point he possibly can, and that's why this whole system is jacked. But he's got to stop because he's just going from the beginning to the end, and like they're not linked together. He's got 7 trips to Walmart and 4 trips to Toys R Us in between getting to the end of his story. We got Mom Desantis, obviously has some stories written down on a piece of paper because she got to keep looking down at the counter before he talks about how, oh yeah, I went to this grave site and there was this quote, acting like he has emotions. Him and Mike Pence would be one of the weirdest tickets. Once again, like, I don't know, we need to like start writing like fan fiction on the United States of America. Like, I think we could write a book that has either Vivek and his crazy-ass policies where he's going to get rid of 75% of the federal government and cut regulations across the board on businesses. Because I'm not saying that we need that in America, but I'm saying that would make a really sweet-ass show to watch. It's up there with The Handmaid's Tale. That's like some post-apocalyptic shit right there. 75% of the federal government gone and regulations cut across the board. Also, teenagers don't get to use social media. Also, no illegal immigrants get to be citizens if they're born on U.S. soil, even though we're having a population decline in America right now. That's absolute fucking insanity. The best thing that we can possibly do right now is ask for the best, the brightest, the law-abiding immigrants from any country that wants to come to America. Please come on over. Please come on over. I'm trying to be on Social Security at one point. I need your asses over here working so that way I can be there. Mike Pence, well, he's just Mike Pence. He's a robot. He tried to convince us earlier that he has sex, and we all know that ain't happening. Maybe like backdoor. But, you know, I think Nikki's tearing it up. I was actually giving Tim Scott a little credit. Doug Christie hit me with you got me in the first half with that last one on the A word. I thought he was ruining his chances there, and then he brought it back with we don't take care of the baby past birth. He brought up his democratic. He reached deep down inside and brought out his democratic side. That was good. That was good. I'm gonna call him Doug Christie because I'm a Kings fan.
Which one of you on stage tonight should be voted off the island?
No way, Nana. You were around Hercules. You gotta be careful because he's gotten weird in his old age.
Starting now, of the people on the stage,
what's it called, Nana? What's it called? I want to see it.
Here, like, you know, we're happy to debate, but I think that's disrespectful to my fellow competitors.
Nobody wants to participate.
Let's do some questions. Let's talk about the future of the country.
Oh, Mom DeSantis.
Let me ask you this.
Mom.
Let me ask you something. Then if you won't answer that question, let me ask you this one.
Yeah.
What is your mathematical path,
Yes.
Governor DeSantis, in order to try to beat President Trump, who has a commanding and enduring lead in this race?
So polls don't elect presidents. Voters elect presidents. Right. And
yeah, it doesn't matter, though. You're getting wrecked.
States. We're going to do it in a state-by-state direction. And why? Because as Reagan said in his day, this is our time for choosing.
We are not getting a mulligan on the 2024 election. Republicans have lost 3 straight elections in a row. We were supposed to have a red wave with inflation at 9%. It crashed and burned. Not in Florida.
He ain't wrong there.
We delivered it in
He is
Florida.
probably
and so
wrong there.
we've got to choose right. We've got to win. And we need somebody that's going to be able to serve 2 terms. So in January of 2023, they'll be able to address the nation saying, we turned the economy around, we secured the border, and we fended off the threat from
Not gonna
communist
happen.
China. As your president,
Not gonna
I will
happen.
get that job.
Not gonna happen. Because we've already secured against China. We've already turned the economy around.
Governor Christie, I believe I did see you write something on the card. Who was it?
No, but I'll certainly tell you.
Go.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, I think I've been the only one on this stage who's been clear about this. I vote Donald Trump off the island right now.
Nice.
And the reason I vote him off the island,
any of the people on the
because
stage
you know what?
off the-
Every person on this stage has shown the respect for Republican voters to come here to express their views honestly, candidly, and directly.
There
and
you
to
go,
take your
buddy.
questions honestly.
There you go,
I have
buddy.
respect for every man and woman on this stage because they've done it. Vivek, put your hand down for a second, would you? I still got time, dude.
Oh,
So chill out.
Jesus, he is wrecking this
look,
poor guy.
This guy has not only divided our party, he's divided families all over
Yep.
this country. He's divided friends all over this country. I've spoken to people, and I know everyone
He
else
is fine.
has, who have sat at Thanksgiving dinner or at a birthday party and can't have a conversation anymore if
Governor?
they disagree with Donald Trump.
Governor
He needs to
and
be voted
candidates.
off the island, and he needs to be taken out of this
Can we
process.
give Vivek 15 seconds?
All right, you've got 15 seconds, Vivek.
My man.
I have a different view on this. I think Trump was an excellent president, but the America First agenda does not belong to one man. It does not belong to Donald Trump. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to you, the people of this country. And the question is, who's going to unite this country and take the America First agenda
Not Donald
to
Jr.
the next level? When we rallied behind the cry to make America great
Dude,
again,
this is the worst
we did
possible
not
time to have
just
this
hunger
speech.
for a single man. We hungered for the unapologetic pursuit of excellence. So yes, I will respect
That was
Donald
a
Trump and his
terrible
legacy because it's
follow-up.
the
Look
right
at
thing to do.
DeSantis.
But we
Look
will
at DeSantis.
unite this country to take the America First agenda to the next level, and that will take a different generation
Does
to do
it.
it.
That does it. I repeat, that does it. For the second Republican primary debate.
Damn, that was a bad follow-up. That was. I know he was probably hanging on to that to do that. Fetty, I love that you got two in the channel right now, bud. I love that shit. Oh man. Oh my God. Is that it? They're not going to give closing statements? No closing statements? All right. Well, we're gonna go over here because we can't. After all of that, I gotta cleanse, bro.
They're scared,
What is going on
and
here?
they
Well, don't
should
do that.
be.
Oh, I'm scared, and I should be. Woo! Well, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think Nikki handled it, and Nikki was already up on everybody else. She'd already passed Mom DeSantis. DeSantis just looked more awkward, more weird. He's not a real person. I've never been one of these conspiracy theory people, but I'm starting to believe that there are lizard people out there. Or robots. They might be robots as well. Man. I don't know. I think Nikki handled that. And not a single one of them. Not a single one of them has a chance. That is it. That is it, Redonk. Anybody got a video? Anybody got a funny video to watch? Because we will watch a quick funny video. I need something. I mean, I already showed you guys the Batman one that I loved the other day. And did we play the Ginger song? I think I played the Ginger song for a bunch of you. Uncle Fatty shared it. It was amazing. Christy and Nikki. Yeah, I think Christy really did well. I think when he came through with that, his last two things he did, the A word and then with that finish on Trump, the finish on Trump. Those two right there. Those two right there. Yeah, we could do another Ginger Billy song. I don't know if you guys have you guys seen the Try That in a Small Town. That was a pretty good one. Let's see.
All right, so you got your chicken breast. What in the world is he doing? He just slid his finger. Oh my, am I at a gynecology exam or is this a cooking show? Looks straight up like a vagina right there, like he sexually assaulted that chicken. All right, he's putting in some flour, egg, okay. Breadcrumbs, okay. Some ham. Ooh, some Emmental cheese. Ain't never heard of that. They don't sell that at Walmart. All right, cut it and you go. Oh, come on now. You know that looks just like a meat wallet. I don't know if I want to eat that or stick my wiener in it. My goodness, that is a cream pie, sir. This recipe should be called chicken cream pies. Oh no, this looks like a porno. I don't know if I'm on Food Network or on Pornhub right now. I know when you put that chicken in the oven, it's gonna come out pregnant. All that cream sauce up in there. Went in looking like a fresh vagina, come out looking like a 90-year-old vagina. Y'all some perverts. Whoever did this, you need to talk to God.
That man has stolen my heart. I'd vote for Ginger Billy for president. I'd vote for Ginger Billy. That's it. These guys have been bringing it hard. Here we go.
I like my coffee dark.
Are these here? In the water.
I did see it on television.
What'd you think?
No, I gotta watch that one next, DJ. We'll watch that one next. Oh no! What's with his left eye? Yeah. Dude, Lincoln Project's coming through strong, dude. What is it called? Lincoln Project impeachment. All right, here we go. Oh, I needed this, guys. I needed this after all that shit, man. Oh man, I needed this. Well, I'm feeling a lot better now. Woo! Okay. I mean, I do have to say, like I said, 100%. I want to say, Nikki Haley and Christie kind of gave me a little hope. It made me feel like the Republican Party, there's some portion of it. I don't agree with everything that they agree with. Never have when it comes to the Republican side. That's why, I lean left. But they gave me some hope, man. They gave me some hope.
Coming this October to House of Representatives Stadium in Washington, D.C. Prepare to have your face rocked off by the monsters of political mayhem as Truth Social posts and Fox News hosts deliver to America the first annual Republican impeachment inquiry of Joe Biden extravaganza. Watch as witness after witness testifies to nothing insane. Watch Jim Jordan roll his sleeves up. Gaze in wonder as Marjorie Taylor Greene mud wrestles a female grizzly platonically. Coming to you straight from the great Kentucky Commonwealth, James No Ammo Comer as he does his best Mitch McConnell.
Oh my God.
Purchase your ticket today for the 2023 Monsters of Impeachment Farcical Bonanza. Never before will so little be shown by so few to so few. You will or won't want to miss it. Brought to you by the Kevin McCarthy Job and Security Packet in partnership with the Donald Trump Impotence Foundation.
All right. Scared ketchup. Which scared ketchup am I doing next? Which one, Bucket? Which scared ketchup? Has he got a new one? Trump's tiny white balls? Is this what I'm doing? All right, we're going to...
Well, folks, it's happening. My tiny white balls are exploding all over the internet, leaving millions covered in a thick, gooey layer of my warm, creamy white protein. Just listen to what some of my famous, freaky, fascist friends and family have to say.
When I'm out there chasing the bad guys and I start to feel a rumble in my tumble, I always reach for a sack of this delicious and nutritious new product. Whenever I pop one or two of Trump's balls in my mouth and start to suck, I immediately feel my energy return, and pretty soon I'm back to cracking criminal heads and taking names. Trump's tiny white balls, you complete me.
When I lick Trump's tiny white balls, I experience feelings of total invincibility, as if I can do anything, like go grocery shopping with a migraine, or organize a coup to overthrow the results of a free and fair election by exploiting the blind stupidity of a ragtag band of ignorant flag-humping jagoffs.
In short order, I will be taking a very long trip, so I plan on stocking up on Trump's tiny white balls. You see, where I'm going, the food is rumored to be barely edible, so having Trump's balls to suck on will be a sweet reminder of home, and they're highly tradable for things like cigarettes, ramen noodles, condoms, and dirty magazines.
Like Roger, I also think Trump's tiny white balls will be very popular in prison.
I didn't say anything about prison, Rudy.
Everyone knew what you meant, dumbass.
I've been licking Trump's balls since that fabled day he rode down the golden escalator, but that's not why I am here. Today, I will be passing a new and binding amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and here it is. AI shall not be used to distort human speech or image, especially as it pertains to portraying me, Clarence Thomas, as a fat little jive-talking suppository. Yo, Big Daddy, why you got to do me like that? Not cool, brother, come on. I will not engage with you, so you might as well stop now. You want to force poor people to have babies, and I just want to... You feel me?
Many have said that I have a strange habit of not looking people in the eye when I speak to them in a hushed, monotone, robotic voice that is reminiscent of a female android built for the sole purpose of sexually satisfying its male creator. Weird, right?
Yes, Ivanka, that is weird, but what does it have to do with your father's tiny white balls?
Everything.
Before I meet my best alpha mates, Charlie, Ricky, and Blair, for a quick manly foursome on the back nine, I always grab a sack of Trump's tiny white balls. There's no more manly feeling than when you're cruising down the green with your pals, with no Sheilas in sight, while sucking on a pair of Trump's tiny white balls.
I've never seen that jackass before in my life.
Hello, YouTube. As you may have noticed, Casey here has convinced me to try a little experimentation with my image.
And he totally fell for it.
Totally fell in love with it, that is.
Yeah, that's what I meant, and it's really working for you.
I know, right? The vibe totally reminds me of that other famous Ronald Reagan.
Reagan for sure, definitely Reagan.
I mean, seriously, Casey, when you look at me right now, what do you see?
The next president
Sweet.
of the gay rodeo.
Oh, Casey, I forgot to tell you, Groucho Marx called. He wants his eyebrows back.
Fuck you, Ron.
I'm not just the owner of Trump's tiny white balls, I'm also a customer. Here I am before using this life-changing supplement. And this is me after sucking my own tiny white balls. Notice the difference? I'm not going to lie, this before is pretty embarrassing, but this sweet after totally makes up for it, right? And here's another before.
Haha, Donald, you are very fast.
Eat your heart out, little rocket man. Melania doesn't look too happy in this before, but you can bet she'll be happy later tonight. And you'll be happy too when you start sucking my tiny white balls.
Side effects may include rapid cognitive decline, usually fast
hearing loss,
memory loss,
impaired motor function,
diarrhea,
dry skin,
dizziness,
cancer,
excessive brown nosing,
projectile vomiting,
anal warts,
more diarrhea,
stupidity,
shingles,
pedophilia,
slurred speech, uncontrolled flatulence, rickets, maniacal thoughts,
insomnia,
hemorrhoids,
bigotry,
hair loss,
bigotry,
and premature death.
Hey kids, if you like that MAGA commercial, there's plenty more on Scared Catch Up's YouTube channel, so be sure to hit that
I definitely don't need to see Clarence Thomas as a butt plug in my dreams. The only thing I have to say that I didn't like was the Ron DeSantis. Like, he needs to work, like, his cadence. It's like they got to work on the cadence of the Ron DeSantis. It just doesn't do it. Gracie, what's up, Gracie? Oh, man. That Dog the Bounty Hunter was absolutely epic. That is so good. Man. Oh, hold on, what's this?
Vape ho, Usher, come and you got to go home. Vape, she's a 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 vape ho. Usher, come and you got to go home.
God, she's so bad.
Work in Congress and she drinks some rum.
Hey!
Usher, come and you gotta go home. For a congressperson, she is awfully dumb.
Hey!
Usher, come and you gotta go home.
I like it.
Mrs.
I like
Bobert, lay off his banana. Usher, come and you gotta go home. Security camera got you in the panorama. Usher, come and you gotta go home. He grabbed your boobs, inappropriate touch. Usher, come and you gotta go home. family values, maybe not so much. Usher, come and you got to go home. Vape, she's a vape hole. Usher, come on.
What do you guys think? You guys think she's gonna get reelected? Because I mean, the last time they had to do a runoff, right? I mean, they had to do a runoff the last time. So you think that she even has a chance of getting reelected against that dude that ran against her? Yeah, those lyrics were not bad. That was actually an okay song. Could have been, production was a little low. A little bit low. Could have been better. But, what is this? Oh, this is like a Fatty one right here, Fatty. I think they stole your stuff.
We are cowardly.
Oh, nice.
Fighting to be Trump's mini-me.
Oh!
We are cowardly. Scared of MAGA pitchforks to break. We are dastardly. The greediest of grifters you'll see. Smell the stink.
Everyone can see through our bullshit as we kiss his eyes.
Think
his fans are too stupid to notice. We turn truth to trash.
All of the braces and haters, they say, can they sing that low?
Nah, it's just like the voices. The voices are off. I don't like it because the voices are off. AI's better than this. Come on, guys. Fatty, I can't go to it because it says that it's. Oh, there it goes. No, it says video unavailable. This video is private. Do you have it private, buddy? Testing out.
Hello, America. So as y'all can tell by these flags right here on the ground, we just installed our electric underground dog fence for my 5 dogs. And now I'm going to test all 5 of the collars on the highest shock level at one time to make sure they all work. Now, just to prove to y'all that all these collars is on, that's the warning signal on all the collars telling me I'm getting too close to the flag.
No.
Hold on.
No. No.
That was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. Oh my God.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I'm about to pee on myself.
Oh, nice. They actually
So as y'all can
did.
tell by these flags right here on the ground, we just installed our
That's what I was looking
electric
for.
underground.
Oh, that's good times. That's good times right there. I like Liz Cheney.
So I'm going to ask you, will you remain a Republican, regardless of what happens in the next election?
I'm going to make sure Donald Trump, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure he's not the nominee. And if he is the nominee, I won't be a Republican.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Liz Cheney says, no, thank you. All right, let's see.
This is America. Go show it.
It's your birthday.
This is America. Look what I'm whipping up.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Don't catch you slipping up.
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Go big or go.
Other brothers can't deny.
Oh, Fatty.
With an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung.
Oh, Fatty.
Go big or go home.
Oh, man. Did you put MTG in here? Hold on. Let's get
You look
MTG.
pretty. I know. Oh.
Oh, wait, huh.
Oh, Patricia, you look. Yes. Oh my God, Patricia, you look pretty. I know. Oh.
Mind your business, bitch.
You're supposed to say thank you. Thank you for what? I mean, I just gave you a compliment. The right thing. That was not a compliment. That was a fact. You stated a fact.
Oh, my God.
Fuck you.
Fatty, how high do you get when you're making these?
Mind your business, bitch.
Go show it.
it's your birthday.
Oh, man. Oh, you got a little stamp on there. I like that. How am I not? Oh, I'm not subscribed you on this one.
This is America. We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip a party like it's your birthday.
Fuck you!
Wow, look at this. You guys said hi. How are you guys? Good to see you.
Oh,
so what you got? Go right over here?
Yes.
Okay.
He's so weird. He's so weird.
Is there anything DeSantis could do to win over your support? No.
We have Trump at or around 60%, and we have DeSantis below 20.
Ron DeSantis has yet to be able to take a Trump voter away from Trump.
Make America great again.
DeSantis is Trump light.
And honestly, we have businesses that have been locked down or made in China.
And why go light when you can get the real guy?
Based on polls, he's not doing okay with anything.
DeSantis.
DeSantis would apparently tell dates he likes Thai food, but pronounced it thigh.
It smells really good, I'll tell you that.
And if they corrected him, he would make up an excuse and leave because, quote, he didn't want a girlfriend who corrected him.
Ron DeSantis does not like to make eye contact. He does not like human beings. This is a guy who notoriously is short with people.
How would they know me? Okay, think about that. I'm sick of the judgmental stuff.
He's unpleasant.
Want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous.
The darkness and the weirdness altogether is going to make him, I think, very off-putting.
You know, my mom or my wife.
What's with the go-go booth?
Have you ever eaten a chocolate pudding with 3 fingers?
Until, of course, Donald Trump tears his liver out and eats it live on stage.
Polls show you falling behind Trump. Any thoughts on that?
I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
Then Mr. Trump said, "You're fired." I love that part.
Oh my God. I'm not big on the word cuck, but I have a feeling that Ron DeSantis is a cuck. Not a fan of that word, but I do understand the meaning. And I am pretty sure Ron DeSantis fits the meaning. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I would probably, as long as Trump doesn't get the primary candidacy, I'm a pretty happy person. But I would pay money to watch Ron DeSantis debate Trump. See, this is what we need to do. We need to get away from like these guys actually being like considered to be the president of the United States. And instead, we need to just like, these guys should be like YouTube level debaters. And we just get these guys on panels and they just go off on each other. Like, it would be a completely one-sided spanking, and I think DeSantis would enjoy it. But God, it would be epic. It would be insane how bad Pudding Fingers got wrecked. I don't think Pudding Fingers. No, Vivek doesn't impress me. I was gonna say maybe Pudding Fingers, Vivek could take Pudding Fingers, but I'm not even sure that Vivek could take Pudding Fingers, dude. He fell hard from the first one to the second one. He wasn't even on the map in that debate, man. Like, that was just all bad. What is this?
The age of Reagan, many political scientists and historians would say it goes from 1980 to 2016. And that Reagan was so influential, for better or worse. He shaped some of the fundamental terms of how the United States thinks of itself, how it acts in the world. Democrats like Obama and Clinton deal with that in one way, Republicans another, but it's the reigning paradigm. That changed. We're now in the Trumpocene. How long it goes, who is its avatar,
I said, man.
That I don't know. But we're in the Trumpocene. That is a definitive change. You take down a major party, you have transformed American life.
Dude, that is the
age
so
of Reagan,
because
many political scientists.
I keep saying that, like Trump destroyed the Republican Party. Like, I don't, like they have those Japanese pots that when they're broken, then they mend them and they're supposed to be stronger afterwards. I don't think that's happening with the Republican Party. The Republican Party needs to like become something new. Maybe this is how we get ranked choice voting. Because you've got Republicans and Democrats that don't want ranked choice voting. But maybe the Republican Party gets destroyed so hard that they're like, you know what, the only chance we'll ever win another presidential campaign is with ranked choice voting. Maybe that's how we get it. Maybe that's how we get the ranked choice voting. Good God. Let's see. Let's watch one more. You guys got the Kings of Cut. I don't know if I can even have those guys on my screen. All four of those guys on my screen at once is just, it's kind of gross, to be honest. I don't know. I want to watch Bo, but not right now. I'm gonna get on. I'll be on a couple times again this week. I'll try to be on. Saturday I'm going to watch Canelo. I'm gonna go watch the boxing match. So Saturday I won't be on, but maybe early in the day. Maybe I'll get on Saturday afternoon or something. We'll watch some more stuff because I wanted to watch all kinds of stuff. I wanted to watch. There's a couple videos. There's Anderson Cooper videos that I wanted to watch. There was Sidney Powell. I don't know. Did you guys see Sidney Powell getting interviewed by the lady and she just absolutely like lost it? Yeah, I watched the Luke Beasley with Laura Loomer. Dude, that was insane. That's another one that I want to watch that with you guys. So Saturday for sure. We're gonna get on here and we're gonna watch that. Here you go. This is how we're gonna end it with the Ginger song. I hope you guys, if you were here last Wednesday, or no, it was like last Thursday or Friday, we played the song. Fatty hooked this up. So
in our modern free-spoken society, there is a word that we still hold taboo. A word with a terrible history of being used to abuse, oppress, and subdue. Just 6 seemingly harmless letters arranged in a way that will form a word with more power than the pieces of metal that are forged to make swords. A couple of G's, an R and an E, an I and an N. Just 6 little letters all jumbled together have caused damage that we may never mend. And it's important that we all respect that if these people should happen to choose to reclaim the word as their own, it doesn't mean the rest of you have a right to its use. So never underestimate the power that language imparts. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can break hearts. A couple of G's, unless you've had to live it. An R and an E, even I am careful with it. An I and an N, in the end it will only offend. Don't wanna have to spell it out.
I might end the show with this song every time. Song, my people. This is the type of shit that gives me hope.
Only a ginger could call another ginger ginger. Only a ginger could call another ginger ginger, yeah. So listen to me if you care for your health. You won't call me ginger lest you're ginger yourself. Only a ginger could call another ginger ginger. When you are a ginger, life is pretty hard. Years of ritual bullying in the schoolyard. Kids calling you Ranga and Fanta Pants. No invitation to the high school dance, but you get up and learn to hold your head up. You try to keep your cool and not get fed up. But until the feeling of ill is truly let up, then the word is ours and ours alone. Don't you know that only a ginger can call another ginger ginger? Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger, yeah. So if you call us ginge, we just might come unhinged. If you don't have a fringe, with at least the tinge of the ginge in it. Only a ginger to call another ginger ginger. Now listen to me, we're not looking for sympathy. Just because we're sensitive to UV. Just because we're pathetically pale. We do alright with the females. Yeah, I like to ask the ladies round for ginger beer. And soon they're running their fingers through my ginger beard. and ducking my ginger nuts into their ginger tea, and asking can they call me ginger, and I say I don't think that's appropriate, because only a ginger can call another ginger ginger. Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger, yeah. And all the ladies agree it's a fact. Once you've gone ginger, you can't go back. Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger. Yeah, you can call us bozo or fire truck. You can even call us carrot top or blood nut. You can call us matchstick or tampon. But fucking with the G word is just not on. If you're a gingerphobe and you don't like us, you gotta stand and provide if you wanna fight us. But if you cut yourself, you might catch gingivitis. So maybe you should shut your funky mouth. Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger. Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger, yeah. So if you call us ginger, you can't whinge if you're injured. If you don't have a tinge of the ginger in your minge. Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger. And you know my kids will always be clothed and fed, cause Papa's gonna be bringing home the gingerbread. And they'll be pretty smart because they'll be well read. And by red, I mean red, and the other kind of red. Woo! Only a ginger can call another ginger ginger.
Number one song
Only
right
a
here.
ginger can call another ginger ginger, yeah. Just like only a ninja can sneak up on another ninja. Only a ginger, only a ginger, only a ginger, yeah. Are you listening? I'm not pointing the finger, I'm just having a singer. I'm just reminding ya that only a ginger can call another ginger ginger.
Best song of the year right there, guys. Best song of the year. Peace Dozer. Make sure to go over there, give Peace Dozer some love. He's at 771 views. This should be at 771 million views, guys. This is a goddamn travesty. I think that's the right word for it. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. As always, don't forget that you can support your local Soulless Ginger by joining the Ginger Army and becoming a Ginger Snap for only 10 cents a day. You can buy shirts, you can buy sweaters, all of those things on Bonfire. Don't forget to go and like my Kick, my Rumble, and my Twitch stream. So that way when they inevitably ban me one more time for making fun of QAnon people for being a bunch of goddamn weirdos, that you can still find me on these other platforms. Please go like my Rumble so that way I can actually stream on it. I think it's like I need like 5 followers. I think it was just like me and Angela. Speaking of, don't forget, you guys might catch me hanging out with Angela. You might catch me hanging out with Grey Pill. A couple other people. I like to go over there and hang out in food shops, chat and say hi to food shops. I like to hang out with these people trying to debate and yell at each other. I like to watch them, I like to talk to them. So you guys might catch me in a chat every once in a while, and you might actually catch me on a stream as well every once in a while, hopping on a panel and talking to people. So as far as those debates go, you saw what I saw. I think Nikki Haley's going to look like she's going to be way up there next time we see her. I think that it's Mom DeSantis is falling behind. I would like to think that Chris Christie is moving up, but I think he's just moving down because he sounded too much like a Democrat, to be honest with you. Let's see. Other than that, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm always so thankful for all of you guys showing up to my stream and supporting me. And it wouldn't be the same without you guys because I do this stuff for you guys. So I appreciate you guys. I hope to see you guys. If I pop on this week, hop in the chat, say hi. I might just be playing games. I might be watching videos. We never know. We're going to watch some Laura Loomer with Luke Beasley later in the week. We're going to watch a Sidney Powell interview where she gets up and leaves. We're going to watch a couple of Anderson Cooper videos with Chris Christie, actually. And maybe even a Neil deGrasse Tyson video a little bit later as well. All right, guys. Love you guys. Stay safe out there. I appreciate you.